The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Howdy, Mr. Dankus. Do you want to see me?
Yes, sit down, Mr. McCoy. It's about your mortgage.
Yes, sir.
3 years ago, when you took out your second mortgage, the agreement stated that you were to repay the money in 1 year.
It did?
Since that time, Miss Bertha Spangler, who bought your mortgage, has seen fit to give you extensions.
Well, as long as it's got to be a habit with her, there ain't no point in breaking her of it.
I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy, but Miss Spangler has instructed us not to give you any further extensions.
No further extensions? Maybe I could see this Miss Spangler and get her to change her mind.
I hardly think so. Miss Spangler is very hard-headed. When she makes a decision, it stands. Now, the $850 is due and payable in 10 days.
$850? I never had that kind of money. I only owed it.
I'm afraid you'll have to get it somehow, Mr. McCoy, or we'll have no choice but to foreclose.
After the way we scrimped and worked to make something of it, I don't know how my family would feel if we had to move.
Well, I'm truly sorry, Mr. McCoy.
This Miss Spangler...
Not a chance. She's the Rock of Gibraltar.
Well, thanks anyway, Mr. Dankus. If I have another farm that I'm about to lose, I'd be glad to give you my business.
Grandpa?
Oh, fine. Just fine.
What'd you go in for, anyway?
Oh, just get some odds and ends. See, there's quite a lot of ironing you done there.
No more than usual.
You keep that up and you'll be old before you're wrinkled. You know, Kate, maybe there is too much work on this here farm for you, huh?
Oh, Grandpa.
No, now, look, I mean it. Maybe we should pull up stakes and move on to someplace else.
Grandpa, this is our home. This is where we're staying.
Phew. Well, how'd you get so covered?
Plowing. I tell you, that wind was blowing the dirt all over the place.
I knowed it happened. The dirt in these here farms is busting out at the seams. It's all wore out.
It don't look no different from no other dirt to me.
Now, look, Luke. You know, we got a white elephant farm. We should pull up stakes and move on to someplace else. Someplace like Alaska.
Alaska?
Yeah. They tell me they got dirt there that is dirt. To plant something tonight and tomorrow's grown up and bite at you.
Grandpa, I don't care if the dirt in Alaska mows your lawn and harvests your crop for you. I like what we got here just fine. Well, what's the matter with you?
Luke, you ever hear of the Rock of Gibraltar?
Well, yeah, I believe I did. Yeah, it's in Gibraltar someplace, ain't it? Yeah, well, they talk about it like it's the strongest rock in the whole world.
That's right. Well, your grandpa's going to start shipping it down.
McCoy?
Yes, ma'am. Amos McCoy. You know, I never expected to find a pretty young secretary working for Miss Spangler. Would you kindly tell her I'm here?
Mr. McCoy, do you honestly believe that I'm Miss Spangler's young, pretty secretary?
Well, all I know is what my eyes tells me.
Well, no wonder your farm's in such trouble. You probably can't even see what you're growing.
Yeah, you don't mean to tell me you're Miss Spangler?
Oh, bourgeois, Mr. McCoy.
Well, they told me you was a fine-looking filly, but they never said you talked French.
That's not French, and nobody told you that I was a fine-looking filly. They probably said I looked like a horse.
Oh, that ain't so. Exactly.
I'm sure that they told you that I was a disagreeable, mean, miserly, miserable skinflint.
Oh, no, Dee.
Well, they were right. And what's more, I'm going to prove it to you. If you don't pay your loan, out you go lock, stock, and barrel.
Now, that's just what I like, a good, outspoken woman.
Mr. McCoy, you're not getting anywhere with me.
Say, you know, the meaner you get, the prettier you are.
Mr. McCoy, I'm really very busy. Goodbye.
Well, goodbye, Miss Spangler. But I'll be back tomorrow night to pick you up at 8 o'clock.
What are you talking about?
I'm taking you to the dance at Community Hall.
Mr. McCoy, if you think you can get around your mortgage by taking me to a dance, you are sadly mistaken.
Oh, I'll borrow the money someplace else and pay off your note. And that'll wash us up business-wise, you see. But social-wise, I'll be around to get you tomorrow night.
That's ridiculous. I'm not even sure I know how to dance anymore.
Oh, that's like the old hen that says she didn't know whether she remembered how to lay an egg. Just relax and it'll all happen by itself. Left foot forward, over to the right. And right foot backwards, over to the left. You think you do that?
I'm not sure.
Well, let us try it.
Oh, please.
Well, ain't you never been touched by human hands before?
You're holding me so tight.
I know, but how am I going to push you backwards and forward unless I get a good hold on you?
Never should have come.
Come on now. Here we go. Full steam ahead.
Home now.
Oh, good. Maybe we can get some sleep.
But, Luke, he was never out this late with Florrie before. Maybe it's getting serious.
Oh, I ain't about to try to figure it out now.
Luke, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. We was never out this late when we was courting.
Yeah, I know. By 11 o'clock, your ma was always sound asleep on my shoulder. Good night, sugar babe.
Night, Luke.
I've enjoyed these last few evenings.
Me too. You sure took to that dancing all right.
You've opened up a whole new life for me. I don't know how I'll ever repay you.
Well, don't you worry. We'll find some way.
Señoramba, a letter came for you.
Where's it from?
Some Mortgage and Loan Company.
Read it to me, will you, Pepini?
Sí, señora. Mr. Amos McCoy, since we have had no further instructions from Miss Spangler regarding your mortgage, we wish to inform you we will be obliged to foreclose unless payment is made immediately. Gee, wow.
Well, I guess I can't put off asking her about the mortgage no longer.
I wish you the best of luck, señoramba.
Pepini, I want you to take an oath that you won't breathe this to a living soul.
Sí, señora. Yo, Pepino, prometo que no le digo...
All right, I'll take your word for it.
makes you so nervous today?
Well, there's something I've been wanting to ask you.
Oh?
I've been putting it off on account of I didn't know what you were going to say.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I've been expecting you to bring it up.
You have? That's a funny thing. I thought you was glad I didn't.
Oh, you silly boy.
Well, seeing as how I get the green light, Miss Spangler, I would suggest...
Call me Birdie.
Birdie?
Amos, I accept.
Well, they say... You accept?
I don't suppose that you expected me to accept your proposal so readily.
No, it was mighty fast, all right.
You know, Amos, after a while, I had an idea that the only reason you took me out was to get around me for that mortgage of yours.
Silly girl.
But you never even mentioned it, so I knew you liked me for myself. You don't seem very happy about the whole thing.
Well, it's just that I ain't talked it over with my family yet.
Well, whatever you say.
I guess I best be going home now.
Amos.
Yeah?
Don't you want to kiss me?
Well, I don't guess it's a good idea to get started on that kind of stuff until everything is legalized. You McCoys up there. I guess you see I got me a problem. The family loving the farm the way they do. I ain't got much choice. It's the first time McCoy ever said I do to a mortgage. Well, morning, everybody.
Hey, Grandpa, what you smiling at? You always said it wasn't civilized for anyone to smile before they had a cup of coffee.
Well, now, Hatchie, this morning happens to be just a little different from other mornings. I'd like to make an announcement. There's going to be a Mrs. Grandpa.
Grandpa!
Didn't I tell you, Luke? I knew it. I knew it.
Congratulations, Grandpa!
Gee whiz, Grandpa. I never did think you'd be getting married before I did. And after going with her all this time.
Excitement. I guess you didn't hear me now.
Oh, Florrie, we're so happy for you. What?
Oh, playing it coy, huh, Florrie?
Now, wait a minute.
Imagine me calling you Grandma. Will you throw me the bouquet?
Listen, everybody.
And, Florrie, we're going to have the wedding right here in the house.
Well, who's getting married?
Oh, Florrie, it ain't a secret no more. Grandpa just told us that you two was finally going to get married.
Well, just a minute, everybody. Your grandfather didn't ask me to marry him.
Yeah, well, he just said... Well, now, Grandpa, that was nothing to joke about.
It ain't no joke, Luke. I am getting married. To my fiancée, Miss Birdie Spangler.
Well, I never heard of her.
Well, she's been around. I think a little longer than I have.
Birdie Spangler. Now I see.
You know her, Peppino?
Never heard of her.
Well, I guess I'll run along now. Amos, I'd like to congratulate you. And Miss Spangler, too, of course. Anyone who can trap you into marriage has to be quite a remarkable woman. Well, bye.
Bye, Florrie.
Bye, Florrie.
Bye, Florrie. You all just had it figured out wrong, didn't you?
Grandpa, about this Birdie Spangler, it was kind of sudden, wasn't it?
Well, that's the way things happen sometimes.
When are we going to meet her, Grandpa?
Oh, I'll bring her by in a month or two, maybe.
A month or two?
Grandpa, we'd like to meet her, and tonight would be just fine.
Tonight?
Well, sure. What are you trying to do, hide her or something?
No, I ain't trying to hide her. All right, I'll bring her by tonight.
What sort of a woman is she, Grandpa?
Well, she's sort of... I mean, kind of... Well, You know. That'll give you the general picture.
Now stand up straight.
Well?
Oh, I'd like for you to all meet my fiancée, Miss Birdie Spangler.
How do you do?
How do?
Hello?
This here's Kate, and that's Luke.
How do?
That's little Luke, and that's Hassie.
Oh, wouldn't you like to sit down, Miss Spangler?
Thank you.
Right over here.
Amos? Not there. Here.
Yes, Birdie.
Here you are, Suresbury.
Well, we sure been looking forward to meeting you.
Well, I'm delighted to meet you, too.
Yes, you hear that? She's delighted.
Well, I must say, Miss Spangler, this must have been one of them whirlwind romances.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought if Grandpa was going to marry anybody, he'd marry... What's that for? I need some help out in the kitchen with the cake and lemonade. Oh, okay.
Yes, I made one of Grandpa's favorites. Pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, boy, pineapple cake.
Well, I really don't think I care for any. I have an allergy to pineapple.
You'll be passing up a good bet, Birdie. It just makes my mouth water just to hear about it. Could I have an extra big piece, Kate?
Amos, you don't care for any either.
Yeah, I think... I don't?
No?
But I always...
We won't discuss it.
We don't want to discuss it.
Well, it's sure going to seem strange, Grandpa being married after all these years.
Oh, I'm certain it'll work out very well. I've analyzed it very carefully.
Oh?
This arrangement should be very profitable to your grandfather, since he'll no longer have any financial worries. And it'll be profitable to me, too, since not only will I have a permanent companion, but it'll be a definite tax advantage.
Well, it's going to make Grandpa real important, ain't it?
How do you mean, Luke?
Well, he's going to be one of them deductibles.
Not over 30 miles an hour now.
Yes, Birdie.
Bye. Bye, Miss Spangler. Nice to meet you.
Luke, I had a lot of shocks in my day, but never one like this.
He's acting just like a jellyfish. I tell you, something's come over him, Kate. Something has happened to Grandpa.
Yo sé lo que le pasa, que se está pagando una vida.
Wait a minute, Peppino. I don't understand what you're saying in Spanish, but I got a feeling that you know something.
I am sworn to secrecy. Senor Grandpa will kill me if I tell you.
Well, I'll kill you first if you don't.
Thanks for threatening me. You see, it all started when Senor Grandpa found out there was trouble with the mortgage. This Miss Spangler holds the mortgage in the farm. And she told Senor Grandpa.
Honest, Florrie, when we told you what was happening, we wasn't asking you to loan us the $850.
I have a selfish reason for doing this. You see, the McCoys have been the best friends I've ever had, and I don't want to lose you. And that includes that gallant old rooster, too. Here, Luke.
Well, thanks, Florrie. I guarantee you we'll pay back every cent of it.
Oh, there's one thing I must insist on. I don't want you ever to tell your grandfather where the money came from.
But, Florrie...
No, Kate, I insist.
Well, all right, Florrie, if that's the way you want it. Luke, you better call Grandpa right away. He's at her house.
Oh, yeah. Where's the phone book?
You know, Amos, I've always maintained that the most important thing contributing to a happy marriage is a complete understanding of the financial arrangements.
Yeah, well, you're sure right about that, Birdie.
I think the facts will bear me out. You've always been in the lowest income bracket.
Well, leastwise, I kept it steady at that.
Well, I'll extend the mortgage on the farm, and your family can still live there.
Well, thank you.
But as far as the other finances are concerned, my property, investment, and cash and so forth, they'll remain in my name and under my control.
I never had no thoughts otherwise.
Hello. Yes, this is she. Well, Mr. McCoy, we're very busy right now. Well, of course, if you insist. Very well. Amos, it's for you. It's your grandson. Now, be brief. I haven't finished talking to you.
Yes, Bertie.
Hello? Yeah?
You don't say. You do say?
Now, you just got to figure out some way to get out of it. You understand?
Bye. Say, you wasn't telling me what a bona fide fed I was.
Oh, that's right.
Well, now, you know, comes the wedding day, when we're joining the holy bonds of matrimony and community property, then I'm going to be just as much a success as you are.
What's that?
You know the California law where the husband and the wife shares the income 50-50.
I told you I was going to handle the money.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You handle the money and the investments, but the income is where they split it right down the middle.
Oh, you must be joking.
No, I ain't. After all, somebody ought to get some pleasure out of all this money you grubbed and squeezed for, and I'll get the pleasure spend it for you, Bertie, my love.
Wait a minute.
And then when we get through spending mine, then we take your half and we split it in half again, you see.
The engagement is off.
Well, that's all right, just so long as we get married.
The marriage is off?
Oh, now you're talking.
Get out! Gigolo!
Bye-bye, Bertie.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he's made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
It's just beautiful, Hassie.
That's the prettiest ring I ever saw. Which one of them shinies is the main stone?
The one in the middle, Luke.
Well, it's just lovely, Jerry, but ain't it kind of expensive for just a friendship ring?
Friendship ring? We're engaged.
Engaged?
That's right. Well, engaged for what?
Oh, I know, like your friends Mary Jane and Paul. Engaged to be engaged.
No, Kate, we're engaged for real. We're absolutely deeply in love.
Very deeply.
I've never met anyone quite like Jerry before. He's so right for me.
Holy Toledo. Hassie, you're only 16 years old. You ain't even dry behind a ponytail.
I'm almost 17.
Yo, for Pete's sake.
Look,
Now, I'm gonna...
why don't you come out in the kitchen and help me make some lemonade?
Lemonade in the middle of a crisis? Now, what?
Luke, come on.
Ooh, that's smart.
Luke, settle down, and quit getting so excited about this engagement business.
Well, how can I help it? This is serious.
That's just the point. It ain't serious. It's only serious if you make it serious.
No.
They don't intend to get married.
What? They don't?
A lot of teenagers are going through this now. We just have to accept it and not make too much out of it. Now, get me a picture from the cupboard.
Well, when a boy spends that kind of money on a ring, it looks serious to me.
Well, I admit it's a little bit showy, but he comes from money. His grandfather's J. Luther Medwick. He's a retired banker or a broker or something, and he's looking after Jerry while his folks are in Europe.
What a day, what a day.
Oh, there's Grandpa. Now there is really going to be trouble.
Been home hours ago if it weren't for that Mrs. Stepney.
Grandpa, you know Jerry.
Yeah, say goodbye to him, Grandpa, because he's leaving.
Every time I go there, she forces me to listen to her singing. If she just learned something besides that Ramona.
Grandpa, we've got something to tell you.
Don't bother your Grandpa now. Can't you see he's got a head full of Ramona? Besides, he ain't interested in talking about no engagements. He's just all, yeah.
Engagement?
The third finger on my left hand, Grandpa.
Fingering?
Jerry gave it to me. We're engaged.
Engaged? Now, see here, young fella. What do you mean by coming in here and putting a ring on that girl's hand? You got a lot to learn.
But, Grandpa, we're...
Sit down, both of you.
Grandpa, please.
I'll handle this. I'm the head of this household. Now, see here, son. I don't know nothing about your bringing up, but right now you're dealing with the McCoys.
Yes, sir.
Don't interrupt. What gives you the idea you can take the responsibilities for our little Hassie?
Well, I
To keep a roof over her head and a shirt on her back and keep her feet shod. You never think of them things, do you?
Yes, sir, I did. Only, I just didn't think to discuss it with you.
Yeah, you see that? You young'uns just don't think of them things.
Grandpa, calm down. It ain't serious.
What do you mean, it ain't serious? They're talking about getting married, ain't they? You asking for Hassie's hand?
Yes, sir.
Sit down.
Grandpa, will you stop torturing? Get what you got to say off of your chest so we can go back to breathing.
All right. All right, I will. Hassie, you're a fine young girl. And Jerry, you're a fine boy. I give you my blessing.
Oh, gee. What'd he say? What's become of that mean, ornery old man that we know and love? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir?
J. Luther Medwick here.
Oh, Jerry's grandfather.
Precisely.
Well, won't you come in? I'm Kate McCoy. Luke! Luke! This here's my husband, Luke. Luke, this is Mr. Medwick. He's Jerry's grandfather.
Oh, well, hello to you.
I will be succinct. A situation has come up here which must be dealt with immediately.
Well, Jerry and Hassie.
Precisely. Now, you may be prepared to allow this foolish alliance to continue, but I intend to nip it in the bud. Immediately.
Well, I sure agree with you.
I do, too.
The whole thing is outrageous. And furthermore, you do. You agree? You concur?
Well, I don't know about that, but we're sure against this marriage.
My word, you've no idea what a relief that is. Oh, you've no idea what I went through last night when this news suddenly burst upon the scene. I tell you, I couldn't get the circulation going in my feet again until 4 o'clock this morning.
Well, Luke and I didn't sleep too good neither.
Of course, you understand that I have nothing against the young lady, Miss
Hassie.
Hassie, yes. She is charming, she's gracious, she is a delightful little girl. But they are much too young.
Yeah, well, we think the world of your Jerry, too.
Of course. Oh, I tell you, the very thought of fighting this thing alone was just appalling. But now that we're going to work together, why, I'm sure we can convince the children that the whole thing is absolutely wrong.
Well, I'm sure we can, Mr. Medwick. It's quite warm. Would you like something cold to drink, like some cold milk or iced tea or lemonade?
No, thank you. Nothing between meals ever. Lemonade? Well, of course, yes.
Oh, it'll just take me a minute. Why don't you go sit on the porch where it's nice and cool?
No sugar.
Yeah, well, if you'll excuse me, too, Mr. Medwick, I got an irrigation pump I got to look after.
Yes, the duties of the agronomist. Too sure.
Howdy.
How do you do?
Can I do something for you?
No, thank you. No, I'm waiting for Mrs. McCoy.
No. You one of them electrical washing machine drummers?
No, I am here on business, but it's of a personal nature.
Well, I guess she'll tell me about it. She wants me to know.
Lovely location you have here. Really lovely. Delightful view of those mountains.
Yeah, we try to keep it that way.
You've been on this farm long?
Oh, about 4 years.
I can't help notice the really excellent condition of that fig tree of yours. How do you do that?
Well, a little water, a little fertilizer, and a little love.
I have 4 of them on my place, but they're forever loaded with fungus.
Yeah, well, they'll disease up on you if you don't treat them right. Say, maybe I should drop by and take a look in on them.
Oh, would you? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Well, that's very kind of you. I'm just off the main highway. Fryman Place, it's called.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I am J. Luther Medwick.
Oh, you're one of them fellas put your middle initial up front, huh? Yeah, McCoy, eh, Miss McCoy?
McCoy?
Yes.
McCoy? Oh, for a moment, I thought that you were... Oh, well, you must be Hassie's grandfather.
That's right. Medwick. Medwick. You must be Jerry's grandpa.
Precisely.
What do you know? 2 grandpas sitting on the porch. I guess that's what they call a consequence.
Yes. I've just been discussing the youngsters with your Luke and Kate. Yes, the situation seems to be very well in hand.
Yes, well, I'm glad you straightened it out. Fine boy, that Jerry.
Ah, yes, 2 fine children. Fine. I'm sure they'll do the right thing.
Yeah, you just leave that to me. Amos Luther McCoy.
Who? You have a Luther, too?
No. But when Hassie and Jerry has their firstborn, I'll get Luther in there someplace.
I don't believe I understand you, Mr. McCoy.
Well, call me Cousin Amos, Cousin Luther. Well, you see, after the marriage, we'll be kinfolk, you see.
Marriage? A marriage? Now, look here, my dear sir. These outrageous mouthings have got to stop. There is not going to be any marriage. That was clearly understood.
Well, ain't the way me and the kids understood it.
Well, you must be mad. Absolutely mad. How could a thought like that ever cross your mind? I discussed this whole thing with Luke and with Kate.
Luke and Kate
they
have
said...
nothing to do with this, ain't all. I'm the head of this family, and I accepted your grandson's hand.
It is not... in my life, really...
All right, if you want to say something, spit it out.
Good day, sir.
You just try and stop this marriage. Cousin Luther!
I know it. I'll never see him again. I'll just die. He can't see me. He can't talk to me on the phone. He can't even write me a letter. I'll die. I'll just die.
Oh, Hassie, will you stop acting like one of them movie stars?
I'll probably never see him again. His grandfather's threatening to send him to Switzerland.
Hassie, you're going to be in love a dozen times before you're 20.
I'm not like that, Kate. I'm deep.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
What do you know about being in love?
What do I know about being... Well, now, who do you think this is standing here before you? The gas meter reader?
What do you...
Shh. Come here and hush up.
What do you want?
Come with me, but hush.
Well?
You can come out now.
Jerry!
Oh. I ain't a-looking. It's Cousin Luke. They're coming this way. Up in the loft. And nary a peep out of you. Hurry.
Jerry was here. I'd have known it, Mr. Medwick.
Well, I have an idea that grandfather of yours knows the boy's whereabouts. McCoy?
Oh, hello, Cousin Luther.
Grandpa, you cut that out. I'll get to the point.
Where is Jerry?
No Jerry in here. This here's Bessie. And out in the small pasture is a mule named Herman.
Well, I'm certain it's not half the mule you are.
Come on, Grandpa, stop horsing around. Have you seen Jerry or ain't you?
No, I ain't.
Don't think I'm not suspicious. Why are you draining your cow at this time of day?
1,000 miles is up. Come on down, Kissy. Done gone. Come on, now, hurry up now.
Grandpa, I don't like this, running and hiding like a criminal.
What'll we do, Mr. McCoy?
Well, do what you sit down to do.
What do you mean?
Well, you're in love, ain't you?
Very much.
Very deep.
Well, do what folks does when they're deep in love. They get married. That's what you wanted, ain't it?
It's kind of sudden, but, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Everything's happening so fast.
Well, now I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to elope you. I helped Luke marry Kate, and I know just what to do. Now, I'm going to house and get a paper showing when she was born, you see, because she's a mite on the young side. Then all you need is my mark. Okayed it. Now, you two get in the car, and I'll go get the paper, and I'll be right back. I sure like young ones that knows their own minds.
Where are you going?
Just passing through.
I don't trust him. The way he looks at you, straight in the eye.
That looks official.
You don't suppose that if Jerry...
If you want me, Luke, I'll be making egg deliveries.
Well, how can I get you if you're out on the road?
Doggone it, Luke, you're up on things today.
You see? You see that? Straight in the eye.
Now, do you have a birth certificate for the bride?
Oh, sure. This is one of them.
Well, all I'll need is the birth certificate.
Well, help yourself. It's in there.
Well, pick it out. Can't you read?
Of course I can read. That'd be it.
This is to certify that all livestock of the McCoy farm have been inoculated for hoof and mouth disease.
I had you going, didn't I?
The birth certificate, please.
Yeah, that'd be it.
This is to certify that little Luke McCoy has been awarded the gold coupon for selling 50 jars of little old lady of the lake cold cream. Some joke.
The joke was on me. I had to buy all of them.
Here, let me look through those.
Well, yes, ma'am, I will. Thank you. That was Mrs. Murdoch, another one of our egg customers. Grandpa hadn't been there either.
He hasn't. Oh, I tell you, this is shocking. Shocking. I knew I shouldn't have had grandchildren.
Kate! Kate, look at here.
What, Luke?
All our papers are gone.
I don't understand.
We always kept our important papers in here. Your graduation diploma and the deed to the house, the livestock papers, all our birth certificates. Well, now, who'd have done a thing like this? None of us is applying for a job or joining the army or getting married.
Oh, he's getting them married. I knew it.
They're probably at the courthouse right now.
Oh, good heavens, let's stop them.
Great-grandchildren at my age. I tell you, I just haven't got the stamina.
happening fast, aren't they? Seems like only yesterday I was a high school kid. Now I'm going to be a husband.
I'm going to be a wife.
Well, I guess that's about it, except for proof that the boy is 21.
Well, I think he's got a driver's license. Now, look, in just a couple minutes, I'll take you to the justice of the peace and get you all hooked up.
Grandpa.
Not now, Hassie. Jerry, you got a driver's license? Tell how old you are.
Yes, sir.
Come on, hurry up. Get it out. The driver's license, Jerry. Jerry, get it. Hurry up. Come on, hurry up. The license. We lose our place. See, there it is there, ain't it?
No.
Ain't that it?
Oh, Grandpa.
Oh, Hash.
I won't, Hesh. Everything's happening so fast. You got me so confused, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're getting married. That's what you're doing.
That's just it. I don't want to get married.
What? What about you, Jerry?
I'm going to confuse myself.
After all, I'm only 16. I'm not ready yet. There's so much to do. I haven't even finished high school.
And I probably won't get my football letter.
Well, that's a fine state of affairs. Best forget the whole thing.
I'm sorry, Grandpa.
Like you said, I didn't think.
All right, Jerry. You take Hassie on home in the bus. I'm going to stay in town myself. See if I can walk off these wedding bells. Now, I'll tell Clucky boy.
Oh, dear, we're too late.
Oh, Hassie.
Now, Jerry, my boy, what's done is done. We've just got to make the best of it.
It was bound to happen sooner or later.
We're not married, Grandfather. It was all a mistake. I'll explain to you on the way home.
We decided we were too young.
Well, it's a good thing you two kids were smart enough to see how dumb you were. Come on.
All right, there you are. Well?
We was just window shopping.
I'm worried about Grandpa. I tell you, we should have just waited for him right there at the courthouse.
Well, Luke, I just couldn't think about nothing but getting them kids away from there.
Well, I'd better get on home. Immediately he returns, have him telephone to me. It is imperative that I speak to him.
Oh, yeah, sure, we'll do that, Mr. Medley. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, well, I might have knowed you'd be waiting up on me. All right, get it over with. Leash your venom on me.
Mr. McCoy, Amos, mon ami, you are formidable.
Cuss me out in English so as I'll know when it hurts.
While we panicked and muddled about, you, with your keen insight and great perception, you knew instinctively just what to do.
I did? Yeah, I sure did. All right.
You forced those children to the brink, and you made them see for themselves the error of their ways. Pure brinkmanship. I take my hat off to you, sir.
Mr. Medwick was explaining to us that by forbidding the marriage, we was all driving him to it.
Well, I know that from the start. Why, when they showed me the ring, and the boy asked for Hassie's hand, I said to myself, why, these little bullets, they don't know what they're doing.
Tell me honest, Grandpa. Did you really know all along that they'd back out if you forced them to do it?
On my honor, Luke.
The real McCoys. starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Grandpa! Grandpa! Grandpa?
What's all you yelling about?
It says here the Morgan C. Thacker's back in the United States after 7 years in Hawaii. It's at a place called Long Beach.
Oh, well, welcome to the old Morgan C. Where'd you say that, Luke?
Right here, Grandpa. It says Morgan C. Thacker.
What's Morgan C. Thacker?
Only the darndest fightingest U.S. Navy destroyer that ever was.
Yeah, named after one of West Virginia's leading naval heroes.
Well, I never heard of him.
You never heard of them. Them California books just learn your histories of movie stars, that's all.
Yeah, he was a hero, all right.
And that destroyer boat, his namesake, was a hero, too. She made a goddamn good record for herself in the Pacific.
We is almighty proud of her, little Luke. She was at Bougainville and Guadalcanal and Leyte Gulf.
Golly!
Yes, and you know, one thing about it, little Luke, that makes it kind of personal-like was that your Uncle Abner, served on it.
And they give him all kinds of medals for it, too.
Gee whiz!
You know, I'd sure like to see that boat, Luke. Where is Long Beach?
Well, Long Beach is about an hour and a half from here. What about it?
The Morgan C. Thacker's in port there.
Oh, it is?
I'd sure like to see it.
Gee, do you think we can, Grandpa? Do you think we can see her? Please, Grandpa, please.
Jingles, it would be a treat, wouldn't it, Luke?
Why don't we?
We got the time.
Yeah, give us a chance to see the state, too.
Oh, I could pack us a picnic lunch.
The car's been behaving lately.
And it'd be educational.
Look, let's cut out this arguing. I say we go. Ain't that something?
Look at all those boats.
Yeah, well, that's what they generally have in a Navy yard.
Golly, looky here.
Look at that, Grandpa. Them submarines. Wonder what they cost.
Oh, in the millions, I reckon.
$1 million. Woo! It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll wear like iron.
You know, that's one of them atomic submarines, like that one that went around the world, the Nautilus.
Judging from them superstructures, Grandpa, those aren't atomic submarines. Let me see. World War II submarines use diesel power when they're atop of the water and electrical power when they're below. Atomic subs use the same nuclear power source all the time.
Goddamn comic books is ruining the boy's mind. There she is, the Morgan C. Thacker.
How do you know, Grandpa? You can't read.
I seen her on a postcard. You see that gun?
Yeah?
That's the one your Uncle Abner worked in one except for Navy Cross.
Whew. Yeah. Sure a lot of steel there, Grandpa.
Yeah, you must weigh a ton.
Gee, Grandpa, do you think we can go aboard the ship?
Oh, I'm sure we can't.
They look kind of busy. I don't think we should bother them.
Oh, we wouldn't fool around them guns or nothing.
Oh, I don't think the gun is loaded, Luke.
Unloaded guns hurts more people than loaded guns, if you know what I mean.
Now, Kate, I ain't never yet read in the newspaper where a fella accidentally shot himself in the foot while cleaning a cannon. Let's at least go ask him.
That's a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Say there, Johnny Tar. They like to be called that. Is visitors allowed on the old Morgan? Morgan C?
If you wait a moment, sir, I'll call the officer of the day.
Thank you.
Wasn't he simply divine, Kate?
Very cute.
You're wasting your time. Sailors ain't interested in girls.
Luke, come here. Luke! Look! It's about the Morgan C. Thacker.
What's it say?
Morgan C. Thacker, 1805 to 1875. West Virginia naval hero. Whether by cannon and musket...
Or sickle and plow, I will lend a hand to make my country strong.
Well, Grandpa, how'd you know that?
Why, they warned a boy in West Virginia that didn't know that. Old Morgan C. was some fighting man.
Some fighting ship, too.
You're telling me. Why...
How do?
How do you do?
Pardon me, sir, but by any chance, are you the officer of the deck?
No, I'm not. I'm just looking her over once more before we give her the deep six.
What's a deep six?
It's just what he says. He sticks cheers and he's done in deep voices. They're honoring her.
I wish that were true. But I'm afraid deep six means to the bottom.
You gonna sink her?
Well, in a sense. They're dismantling her, cutting her up for scrap.
What?
Well, she's outlasted her usefulness to Uncle Sam.
The folks back home are going to be mighty sad to hear this.
Well, that's a shame.
A shame? It's a crying shame, that's what it is. Laying a fighting lady to rest afore her time. Why, there's a lot of good miles in her yet.
She's 18 years old. That's past her life expectancy.
I know, but cutting her up and throwing her away. Why, Jingles, we're probably the last West Virginians to set eyes on this ship. And that ain't right.
You know, the people of Texas felt a lot like you folks about the battleship Texas.
Was it scrapped too?
No, they were going to, but the people got together and saved her. She's in the state now, being used as a naval museum.
Say, maybe we could do something like that. Do you suppose I could talk with the knothead that runs this place?
Grandpa, watch your language.
Say, maybe you could help us, Mr.
Allow me to introduce myself. Captain Fred Miller, commander of the base here.
Allow me to introduce myself. Amos Big Mouth McCoy. Read that back to me, Kate, would you?
June 19th. Dear Governor.
Sounds good so far. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it.
I'm ready, Grandpa.
Look, don't rush me now, Kate. Don't rush me. Yeah. I'm a hankered to tell you, by writing, just what them gall-darn knot-headed Navy boys is a-doing to our fighting Morgan C. Read that back to me, Kate, huh?
As a person who once lived in West Virginia but is now making my home in California, I would like to inform you that I am upset by the fact that the Navy is decommissioning the destroyer Morgan C. Thacker.
Sounds good. My writing's getting better all the time.
It's here! It's here!
From the governor?
Yeah, right there in the corner. It says, Office of the Governor, Sovereign State of West Virginia.
Jingoes. Even smells like home.
Well, let's open it up and see what he says.
Tear it open. No, he ain't going to tear it. This is something special. We ain't tearing no government papers. Kate's going to open it delicate like, with our best knife. Right here in the dining room table, Kate. She's got the hands of a surgeon.
You ready?
Come on, Kate, come on.
Office of the Governor, Sovereign State of West Virginia. Dear Mr. McCoy.
You old son of a gun. That's only the beginning. Go ahead.
Pursuant to your letter regarding the fate of the Morgan C. Thacker, we have agreed that some effort should be made to save her. However, this cannot be accomplished without the use of state funds. Consequently, the Thacker issue will be submitted for consideration at the next meeting of the legislature. Yours sincerely, John P. O'Manion, Secretary to His Honor the Governor.
Say, we're getting some action anyway, Luke.
We sure are. What do we do next, Grandpa?
Well, I guess next thing we do is take that letter to that Navy captain.
We're going to save that old Morgan C. Yeah.
I want to get one look at the old Morgan C. before we see the captain.
She's going to look mighty good in wheeling.
Look, she's on fire.
She ain't on fire. Them's cutting torches. Cutting torches?
Hey, I hope they ain't doing what I think they're doing. Hey, up there! You? What are you doing with that overgrown cigar lighter? You're scalding the paint.
We're cutting her up, sir. She's going for scrap.
Well, stop it. She's going to be a landmark.
Sorry, sir. Just following orders.
You better get this letter off the captain right now. Well, you seen what's in the letter. Seeing as how you're the head muckety-muck around here, all you got to do is tell your boys to shut off their torches.
I'm afraid it isn't as easy as all that. I'm under orders from the Bureau of Ships in Washington, D.C. My hands are tied.
Well, I got to do something. I just can't stand there and watch it being operated on.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, O'Brien.
You're 5 minutes late for Captain's master.
I'm on my way. And O'Brien,
Yes, sir.
this is the McCoy family. If they need anything, you take care of them. They're my guests.
Aye, sir.
Mr. McCoy, I'm sorry about the Thacker. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Is there anything I can help you with?
No. Just like to set a spell, if you don't mind.
I'll be right outside if you need me.
Thank you. If only I was back in West Virginia, so as I could tell them what's happening.
That's wishful dreaming, Grandpa.
I sure wish the governor could see him cutting up that beautiful boat.
Grandpa,
He
can't see it, but you could sure tell him about it.
Luke, put that down.
Well, he told us to make ourselves to home.
But that's the captain's fault.
Don't worry about that. I'll leave the dime. You put in the call.
But you do the talking, Grandpa.
Me? The highest man I ever talked to in my life was a fireman.
Here you are, Grandpa.
Thank you, Kate. Can't talk in a dry throat.
Grandpa, will you hurry up? I got the governor's secretary on the phone.
Would that be Mr. O'Manion?
O'Manion. Hello? O'Manion speaking. McCoy. I know who I am. Amos McCoy here, Mr. O'Manion. Yeah. I'm calling about the Thacker. We're down at the Navy Yard here, and they're cutting her up. Yes, sir. Yeah? Yeah? Well, they're mighty busy with the cutting torches, so the quicker the better. Well, I sure do appreciate it. Yeah. The number here?
Long Beach, 46000.
The captain's name?
Captain Fred Miller.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Bye. The secretary says that the Thacker's on the schedule, and the legislature's talking about it right now. And they're going to call us back in about an hour. You know, I have a feeling we're going to hear something good.
Well, I guess all we can do is wait. Why don't we go have our lunch? At the time we finish, maybe the call will come through.
Yeah, good. No, you two go eat. I'll go down to the Thacker and tell them that we'll be here in about an hour.
Kate, I never seen Grandpa look happier.
Me neither. I think this little experience is going to make him a better man. What's that?
And at lunch hour, I reckon.
They sure are in a hurry to get back to work.
Well, that sure is a lot of noise just to say lunch is over.
Luke!
You don't think? Oh!
You ain't gonna tear another nut out of this here ship till we hear from the governor.
They're on the gangplank.
We ain't gonna touch her, you boat butchers.
Holy Toledo! I better get him down from there before he gets hurt. Stand back, fellas, stand back. I'll get him down. He's my grandpa. He won't squirt me. Well, I guess that water's thicker than blood. Grandpa!
I'm sorry, Luke. I never knowed it was you.
Grandpa, will you listen to me for a minute?
I can't listen now. I got my hands full.
Turn off the hose.
I do that, they'll swarm all over me.
Grandpa, please do like I asked you. I want to talk to you.
Now make it fast.
Grandpa, you're doing the wrong thing here.
Doing the wrong thing and you call yourself a West Virginian?
I sure do. But this ain't the way to handle things.
Luke, are you for me or against me?
Right now, I'm against you.
All right. Stand back. You're my grandson, and I hate to do this to you, but you take one step.
Grandpa, you started off so right. You wrote a nice letter and you got a nice answer. Everybody was with you. Me and Kate, the captain, the governor, everybody. Then all of a sudden, you let that old devil inside of you take over. Grandpa, you ain't only going against the law and making a darn fool of yourself, but you're making a darn fool of the Morgan C. Thacker, too. And Uncle Abner and all the rest of them.
Well, I sure don't want to do that, Luke.
Now, come on down, Grandpa.
Grandpa, you've got to eat something.
I just ain't hungry. You know what makes me mad is folks don't seem to care no more. The least they could have done was phone us back. Heroes has got to be remembered.
We know, Grandpa.
Everything's got to be done in such a god-darn hurry. It ain't no time for feeling and thinking and remembering the past. I guess remembering is just for us everyday folks.
Hello? Yes, ma'am. This is his house. Who? Yes, ma'am. Right away. Grandpa! Lou! Kate! Grandpa! What happened?
What are you ringing that for? We already ate.
It's the governor, the telephone, the telephone.
Simmer down, breathe deep, and then talk.
Grandpa, the governor's on the telephone. He wants to talk to you.
Well, it sounds like somebody's playing a telephone joke on us.
No!
Now.
Grandpa, where are you going? He wants to talk to you.
Well, I can't talk to him in my overhaul.
Grandpa, he can't see you.
Don't want to talk to him, boy. He's probably running out of change.
Hello? Amos McCoy on the California end. Yeah? Well, it's a great honor to have your voice come into our home. Sir? Well, I don't know as I can hear what you're saying. Oh, sure. Yeah, we sure will, Governor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Well, young lady, go ahead.
Watch out, everybody. I christen thee the Morgan C. Thacker II.
Whether by cannon and musket, or sickle and plow, or fire hose, I will lend a hand to make my country strong.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made hate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia, they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Oh, George! George! Hi, Amos. Hey, say, George.
Huh?
I need a little change for the parking meter here. Ain't got nothing but $1 bill. You don't have a nickel or dime on you, do you?
Well, yeah, maybe I have, maybe I have. Let's see. Yeah, take your pick. Whoa, there. Amos, they don't have parking meters that take a quarter.
I was just pushing it aside so as I could get at the nickel.
Maybe it'd be less expensive if I did it.
You thank you for the change, George, and I'd like to say this is one of the few times it's been a pleasure to see you.
Amos, it's been nice meeting you, too, and I'll take that $1 you mentioned as your contribution to the Reverend Digby's church steeple fund.
Well, George, you see me later. I got to get in the feed store.
Oh, and Amos, every member of our lodge has contributed except you.
Yeah, but, George, you always catch me at a bad time.
Well, I caught you at a good time this time, Amos. I know you get $1. Now, with your $1 and the $649 I've already collected, makes a nice, big, fat $650 even.
Now, look, George, let's talk about this logical-wise. You know you can't get a bigger church steeple for $650 than you can for $649, now can you?
No, I don't suppose you can.
Well, there you are, then.
Amos, right now I'm going up to the lodge office, and I want to look the grand exalted Pharaoh right in his grand exalted eye and tell him that every member of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile has contributed.
Amos, you ain't burying the dollar, you're donating it.
Just had on my headband, it's all.
Well, that makes the church steeple fund unanimous. And though you ain't admitting it, I know you feel pretty good about what you just done. Greetings, almighty grand exalted Pharaoh. $650 for the steeple fund. 100% contribution, including Amos McCoy.
Amos McCoy? Who held him down?
Who held him down? Well, anyways, his hat may never fit the same again, but I got his dollar. Say, I'll bet the Reverend Digby's going to take half an hour thanking you for all that money.
Brother McMichael, you're the one who gave your time, who went from door to door. You're the one who was responsible, and you're the one who deserves the honor of making the presentation to Reverend Digby and listening to his thanks for half an hour.
But, Grand Exalted Pharaoh, it's your imperial privilege.
Brother, the honor is yours.
$100 bill. Another one. $200.
Hi, Amos.
George, you collecting for another cause? I'm fresh out of dollar bills.
No, nothing like that, Amos. I just wanted to tell you that the Grand Pharaoh, he... How come you stand that way?
It's my rheumatism. It clinched down on me.
Oh, that's a shame, Amos. I'll drive you
No,
home.
that's all right. I'll be all right, George. I'll be all right.
Well, okay. The Grand Pharaoh gave me the special privilege of presenting this money to the Reverend Digby.
Congratulations, George. I wouldn't think of keeping the Reverend waiting. He's all this nice seeing you, George. Goodbye, George.
No, there ain't that much of a rush, Amos. Let me help you to the
No,
car.
I can't move, George. When the rheumatism gets me like this, I just can't move. I gotta stand still and leave it dribble away little by little.
I ain't leaving you this way. What kind of a friend would I be?
Now, look, George, you go on over to Reverend Digby's and you make that presentation. It's your duty as a member of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
What's this?
Grandpa, what are you talking about?
See what that is?
$200. Where'd you get all the stage money, Grandpa?
That ain't stage money. That's real. That's Ben Franklin. See him? He's a smiling, ain't he?
Sure is. Ooh, that's real, all right.
Grandpa, you sold the farm.
No. Well, I got it legal. I found it fair and square.
Found it? $200?
But where? How?
Well, actual no place. It come a-floating down from the sky.
Now, come on, Grandpa. Where did you really get the money?
I was looking up to the heavens. And here it comes, a flutter in the breeze. It's like two green butterflies. And weird, ain't it? It's just like the McCoys up there. He sort of knowed we was mighty hard-pressed.
Imagine us having all that money.
Grandpa, that's an awful lot of money. But it belongs to somebody. And I think the right thing for you to do is to report it.
Report it? Well, you know what that'd mean?
Well, the minute it got out that somebody found $200, well, everybody in town would claim it was theirs.
Why, the whole unemployment line would move over to the police station.
But the police don't tell anybody. They just keep it and wait for the right person to come in and claim it.
Well, maybe it doesn't belong to anybody. Maybe it just blew out of a plane full of money the government was sending to some backward country.
Well, now, we about as backward as they's going to find, so it found the right place after all.
Grandpa, what's right is to turn that money over to the police.
Now, Kate, do you realize what this means? We can get our tractor repaired, we can pay our feed bill, we can pay our grocery bill, and all them other things we've been needing so hard.
But what about the people that lost the money, Grandpa? They may need that money for the rent or for food. It may be a widow, a poor widow with children. We may be paying our bills with somebody else's sorrow.
Yeah, Kate's right, Grandpa. You know we wouldn't get no pleasure out of spending that kind of money.
Oh, all right. I ain't exactly agreeing with you, but I'll turn it in.
Oh, Grandpa, I know you'll feel much better when you do.
Now remember, don't you breathe a word of this to a living soul about the money, because we might have a chance to getting it back again.
Now, Grandpa, you drive careful, and when you get back from the police station, I have a nice big hot apple pie for the uprightest, decentest, honestest. Luke, you better go along with him.
I'll turn it in. I don't need no watchdog. Stay here, Luke.
Well, Luke's got some shopping to do for me in town. Get in,
Well,
Luke.
you didn't tell me about no shopping, Sugar Babe.
Luke, you get in.
I don't know. I don't have to go down to do no
go along
shopping.
with Luke.
I want Grandpa, police parked in Oni.
Hold on now, Luke. I don't need you peeking over my shoulder. I'll turn in the money.
Yeah, well, I just want to see how it's done.
I'll tell you when I come out. Now, you go on and do your shopping for Kate.
Get thee behind him, Satan.
Mr. McCoy, I want to congratulate you. You are a credit to your community.
Well, thank you, Chief. But I never done nothing that any man wouldn't have done that's a credit to his community.
I deal with a lot of people, and believe me, very few would turn that much money in.
Well, they ain't Amos McCoy.
You should be mighty proud of yourself, Mr. McCoy. And if nobody shows up in the next 14 days to claim the money you turned in, the $100 is all yours.
What happened to the other $100?
The other $100?
I give you $200, didn't I?
No, you only gave me $100.
Now, wait a minute, Chief. You don't want to go accusing a man who's a credit to his community. You're not telling the truth now, do you?
I assure you, Mr. McCoy, you only gave me $100. I wrote the receipt out that way.
Well, Grandpa?
Well, now, wait a minute, Luke. We don't want to be too quick to judge the Chief here. Well, what do you know? This one must have got stuck in there when I pulled that one out. Well, that leaves you off the hook, Chief. I'll be in touch with you, but if any liar comes in and says he lost that money, I want to know exactly where and how. Come on, Luke.
Grandpa, I'm surprised at you trying to hold out $100.
Well, I done it to purpose.
Grandpa.
I done it to protect us. Now, supposing somebody used to come in there and say that they lost $100, might even be a friend of the Chief's, and he was to give it to them. We know it won't theirs, because it ain't 800, it's 200.
I swear you think of everything.
Fast, too. Well, it's done, and now all we got is 2 weeks of uninterrupted agony.
Amos! Look, hold on. Oh, have I got news for you?
Well, glad to hear it, George. See you later. Come on.
Say, you know that notice you got from the lodge about the special meeting in 2 weeks? It's to surprise me with a plaque for all the good work I'm been doing.
Well, fine. Ain't nobody deserves a surprise more than you do, George.
Well, that sure is good news. Hey, and we got some news, too, George. Grandpa, tell him about the money you found.
What money?
Money. Well, I mean, it's kind of like this.
No, it ain't like this at all. George, the truth is, the facts is, we're coming into a little money in about 2 weeks. Sort of inheritance, like.
Who died?
I ain't at liberty to say yet.
Well, if I'd known you was coming into some money, Amos, I'd have got more than $1 out of you for the steeple fund.
Well, money wouldn't change me, George. I'd say no anyways.
It's all right, sugar.
Oh, come on, Luke. The 14 days is up in a half hour.
There. Now, what time are you going to be back?
Well, right after we pick up the money, we're going down to the lodge hall to see George get his plaque. Then we'll be coming right home.
Grandpa, when you get the money, will you buy me a pair of nylons?
I'll do even better than that. I'll get you 3 stockings, so in case you tear one.
Can I get a brand new suit that's never been worn before?
Well, now, that's just like throwing money away. How do you know it's any good unless somebody's tried it out for a couple of years? Well, once in our lives, we're going to have enough money to buy the bare necessities.
$100, $200. It's all yours, Mr. McCoy.
Hallelujah.
You know, I just don't understand anybody losing that much money and not bothering to report it.
Yeah, but would you let me hold it, Grandpa?
Well, let me just feel it. Later, Luke. We ain't out of the woods yet. Goodbye, Chief. It's been nice doing business with you.
Sergeant, I want to report a loss.
Look out, Luke.
Hold it, McCoy. Now, what was it you lost, ma'am?
My son's bicycle.
Oh.
Is that all you lost, is a bicycle?
Well, not necessarily. What did he find?
Goodbye, McCoy.
Did you hear what she said? It's hard to believe what some people do for money.
Loyalty Award to George McMichael for loyalty and devotion to duty, presented by his brothers of the Royal Order of the Mystic Nile. Brother McMichael has given of his time unselfishly, answered every call willingly, nay, eagerly. And I ask you, brothers, who among us could have collected $650? Brothers, $650 for the church steeple fund. As a matter of fact, before presenting this beautiful plaque to Brother McMichael, I want to read a letter which I received from the Reverend Digby to be opened and read before the entire membership. I'm sure that his thanks can only add luster to our George. Gentlemen, because of the overwhelming generosity and kind-heartedness of your wonderful organization, our church steeple fund is richer by $450. And I... $450? $450?
Why, I gave the Reverend $650. But, ooh, you think the Reverend Digby snitched $200? Oh, no, of course he didn't. Why, we all know the Reverend Digby's just as honest as the day is long. He wouldn't... What you looking at me like that? You don't think that I stole the money, do you? You don't think that... Oh, brothers. You couldn't. All I know is that means I don't get the plaque, huh?
I hope we ain't too late to see George get plaques.
Well, if we are, we'll hear the blowed-up details tomorrow.
I don't think he'd accept no plaque without having me stand alongside him all red-eyed and choked up. We too late to see you get surprised?
Hey, George, you get the plaque already?
They didn't believe me.
What? They didn't believe you when you pretended to be surprised?
They, my own lodge brothers, believe I stole the money from the steeple fund.
Stole money?
Who stole money? You?
I don't know how it happened, Amos. I just know that I didn't take it. And not one brother got up to defend me.
Well, here's one that will.
And here's another
Yes,
one.
come on,
No, it's no use. If that's the way they feel about me, it's better this way.
There ain't nobody going to accuse you, White Stomper.
Amos, I don't want to go in there.
After what's happened, brothers, I'm sure that none of us feel like continuing this meeting. As Grand Pharaoh of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile, I hereby declare this meeting adjourned.
Now you sit right where you at. I mean it. How darest you accuse George McMichael of stealing money?
Well, now, Brother McCoy, and we didn't actually accuse him of stealing the money.
When I started to leave, I didn't see no brother stand up and say, come back, honest George. We know you ain't no thief.
Now you all know that George McMichael is the finest, decentest, honestest man in this whole world. I know I've been here to rant and rave and name-call at him, but that's only been in the heat of a checky game when he was a jiggling the board or something. When it comes to anything important, why, I'd trust George McMichael from here to, well, you know where and back.
But I've told you we haven't accused him. We just want to know what happened to the $200.
$200? Why, accusing George McMichael of taking $200 is like accusing me of taking $200. I'm ashamed of all of you. You're nothing but a bunch of... $200.
That's right, $200, the amount that's missing from the steeple fund. We'd still like an explanation.
$200?
In $100 bills?
Yeah.
How many of them?
2. And I didn't take them, Amos. I remember the details. I put the money in the table. Then I walked the Grand Pharaoh to the door. Then I walked back again. And I lifted the money and put it in the envelope for the Reverend. Then I happened to look out by the window, and there you was, down by the feed store.
Then they didn't just come a-fluttering out of the blue.
Huh?
The $200, George. You could blow it out the window, and I found it, and here it be.
$200 bills. Is it possible?
Well, I was standing just beneath the window when the money come a-floating down. And I was so busy stomping on it, I never worried about where it come from.
Yeah, that's the truth, Grand Pharaoh. Grandpa found them.
Brothers, I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake. I want to apologize personally to Brother McMichael. I'll entertain a motion that the surprise plaque be re-awarded to him.
Yeah, well, consider yourself entertained. I make the motion.
And I second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye!
Opposed, nay.
No!
What's the matter with you, George?
Now, I ain't gonna let you do it. Brothers, I know where Amos got that $200. It was an inheritance. And I ain't gonna let him give away the most money he ever had in his life just to clear me.
George, it's the truth. Will you keep shit?
I'll give him back his money. Just say I stole it and let it go at that.
We're telling you, George, that's how it happened.
I ain't gonna let you make this sacrifice. Now pick up your money and let's go.
But, George...
I'll let them think whatever they want to.
There it goes again, just like I told you.
It's fluttering down to the street. Go after it, somebody.
Amos, you did a fine thing. You found that money fair and square, and you didn't have to give it back.
Yes, all right, George. It's my pleasure.
That makes you the biggest contributor to the fund. Amos McCoy, $200.
201, George. 201.
My flash. Loyalty award to George McMichael. Me, devotion to duty. Thank you. Look.
That was a wonderful thing you done for George, Grandpa. You must feel good all over.
Every place but here, Luke.
What's the matter? You got a headache?
Hat's loose again.
Real McCoys. Starring Walter Brennan. Created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he's made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Hey, look, I think the new class will work out all right.
Yes, just what we needed. Grandpa, I see it, but I don't believe it. Look at that. Well, it walks like little Luke. It looks like little Luke. But with a girl, it can't be little Luke.
Well, it's him, all right. And why not? Boy's growing up. It's only normal that he should get himself a girl. But when it comes to girls, all us McCoys is more normal than most boys.
Oh, wait till Kate hears about this. Kate! Kate!
I'm here.
Kate, little Luke's walking with a girl. How about that?
Oh, yes, I know. Must be Susie Nelson. She lives down the road.
Well, it looks like we can throw away his stamp collection. Little Luke's got himself a new hobby.
Now, don't you two get started on him. He's having enough trouble the way it is.
Trouble? What trouble?
Well, it seems they're having a dance at school, Grandpa, and I think little Luke's trying to get up enough nerve to ask her.
Get up enough nerve? Well, if a boy's going to ask a girl to a dance, he just ups and asks her.
Now, Grandpa, he's shy. Most boys are with girls in the beginning.
Oh, what are you talking about, Kate? There ain't never been a McCoy that was girl shy.
They're coming up on the porch.
I sure am glad we moved down the road from you, Luke. Maybe we can walk home together some other time, too. Gee, I think your place is a little bigger than ours. We just grow a few things, but it looks like you have a regular farm here.
Now, you know, I ain't asked her yet. She's just like all women. He can't get a word in edgewise.
Say, Luke, I've been talking so much, I didn't even realize where I was walking. Here we are, right at your front porch.
Yeah, well, would you like to sit down a while?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Susie, there's something I'd like to ask you.
What's that, Luke?
There. I knowed he'd asked her when he was ready.
Well, you know there's gonna be a... what I mean to say is... Well, what I wanted to ask you was, what'd you get on your history test?
I guess he ain't ready yet, Grandpa.
I got a 92.
He just want to be sure he's going out with a smart girl.
Susie, there is something else I want to ask you.
What's that?
Well, I'd like to know if you'd like to...
Yes?
I'd like to know if you'd like
yes?
to... Nothing. This might take all day.
Well, I guess I better be getting home.
Yeah, I guess so.
There wasn't anything else you wanted to ask me, was there?
Well, I guess not.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It is just pitiful. The McCoy standing in front of a girl, tongue-tied.
Grandpa, he'll ask her. It'll just take a little time.
Time? The time he gets nerve to ask her, why, she'll be busy babysitting with the grandchildren.
Grandpa, maybe you were shy with girls at his age, too.
Me? Shy? Why, I was a regular tiger with the girlies. When they seen me coming, they know they didn't have a chance. They just used to freeze in the tracks and pucker up.
Well, little Luke just happens to be different, that's all.
Well, we gotta help him, Luke.
Oh, I don't know, Grandpa. Maybe he'll snap out of it just like that.
No, not a chance. We gotta build up confidence in the boy.
Well, fine, but how?
Well, we'll think of something. We just got to Now, we got to do a good job, so turn it on big. Say, you're really pitching them horseshoes good today.
Yeah. Did you see that form?
Yes. Look. You just feel that muscle.
Woo! That's real bulger there.
You really think it's getting big?
Well, if it gets any bigger, you'll be pitching them horseshoes twice as still on the horse. Look at the boys. Actually getting good looking, ain't he?
Oh, more than that, Grandpa. What? He's downright handsome.
Me?
You know, I really think it's come to him.
Huh?
Grandpa, you're right. Yes, sir. I believe he's got it.
Got what?
Come right over here, son. Now, you just sit yourself down right there. Now, I don't rightly know just how long this has been going on, but as far back as I can remember, all the men of the McCoy clan has always had a big appeal for women.
Yeah, that's the gospel. I'll tell you, whenever you seen one of us McCoy men, you always seen women buzzing and flittering around like fleas on a wet dog.
Yes, sir. Looking at there's a fine example, too.
Grandpa. But some of us is slow to come around. But sometimes, like with you, this thing just hits overnight.
What hits overnight?
Well, it's a sort of how'd you explain it, Luke?
Well, it's a... tell you the truth, Grandpa, I never tried to explain it. I just enjoy it.
Well, it ain't hard to explain. It's a sort of like a... Well, you seen a caterpillar, ain't you?
Yeah.
And you seen how nobody never pays no attention to caterpillar because he's skinny and stupid looking and is always wiggling himself around?
Yeah.
Yeah, what Grandpa means is that this caterpillar himself don't know how gorgeous he's going to be when he shucks off his cocoon.
Right, and the first thing you know, he's this miserable-looking caterpillar. He's turned himself into a great, big, beautiful, breathtaking butterfly. That's how it is with us McCoy menfolk.
Can't you kind of feel this new power deep down inside you?
Yeah, I think I can. There's just one thing.
What's that?
Well, do you think the girls will know I shucked off my cocoon?
Why, of course they will. They just can't help themselves.
I wish I was sure.
Luke, that boy's stubborn.
Yeah, he still ain't 100% sold.
We're going to need ourselves a clincher. We say, didn't Hassie say she had a couple of girls coming up the house this afternoon?
Yeah, I believe she did. And I think I see where you're headed.
Little Luke, will you get that? I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Hi, little Luke.
Oh, hi, Sally.
Well, I sure can't call you little Luke anymore, the way you've grown. Well, I bet you put on 2 inches since I last saw you.
Well, you just saw me yesterday.
Well, I guess you're the age now where you just seem to sprout up overnight. Well, you're almost as tall as I am.
I am?
Turn around. Show you.
By gosh, I am.
Hi, Sally. Hassie. Do you know this brother of yours is as tall as I am? Really?
Yep, we just measured.
Well, I guess I just didn't realize how you're growing being around you all the time. But it figures. All the McCoy men are tall. I'm here. Oh, hi, Dorothy. Come on in. Hi, Hassie. Sally. Oh. I didn't know any fellas were going to be here.
Fellas? It's just me.
Why, little Luke, I didn't recognize you. Probably because he's grown so much. I don't think it's that exactly. It's just that, well, he's beginning to look so mature and handsome.
You noticed it, huh?
You're going to start carrying a club around with you to chase off all the girls. Huh? Who's the lucky girl you're taking to the school dance?
Oh, I don't think I'm going to go to the school dance.
Not going? Oh, I'll bet a lot of girls are going to be heartbroken.
they are?
I can sure see why your brother's so popular, Hassie. He's getting more handsome all the time. If he were a little older, or if I were a little younger, I'd sure go for him. Little Luke, you've been in there over an hour. Will you please get out of that tub?
When I'm finished.
Oh, Luke, will you get him out of there? I gotta get to school.
All right.
Let Luke open up.
It's not locked.
Well, now I've seen everything. What do you think you're doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
But a bubble bath?
Bubble bath? Where'd you get the bubbles?
How do you run?
You know you're not supposed to take my things.
Dry up, woman.
What are you doing with my aftershave lotion?
I'm using it. Ain't no law says you can't use aftershave lotion before you shave.
3 years before?
Well, I'm on my way. How do I look?
Fine, just like a regular dude.
Except for the collar. You didn't iron it right.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Can't you see? Look at it. It's all messed up around the points.
Boy just wants to be neat, that's all.
So, ain't that my tie you're wearing?
Yeah.
Well, now look, if you're going to be one of them fancy Dans, ain't you got no ties of your own?
Not this color. It brings out the blue in my eyes.
Oh, for gosh sakes. Well, now look, the least you could have done is ask me for it.
Well, I don't have to ask you for everything. Well, I'm 14 years old.
This is just dandy.
The boy's grown up. You got to remember that.
It's growing up a little too fast to suit me.
Oh, will you stop picking on me?
And what are you doing now?
I'm taking 50 cents out of the cookie jar. I gotta buy a ticket to the school dance.
School dance? It's the first I heard of that. What are you thinking on taking, little Luke?
Oh, I think I'll give Susie Nelson a break. She's a good kid. See y'all.
Well, looks like we done it. We give him the cure.
Looks to me like the cure turned out to be worse than the disease.
He acts just a little too big for his britches.
Well, now, what's ain't that you two?
Grandpa, that ain't the same boy.
He's changed.
Of course he's changed. He's a man. He's feeling his oats. Boy's got confidence in himself.
I say he got obnoxious.
Yeah, he's got that, too.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Ruth.
Hi. Hi. Didn't I see you walking home with Susie Nelson last Friday?
Could be.
Is she your girlfriend, Luke?
Could be. You're jealous, aren't you?
Jealous?
Oh, it's okay. I understand.
Huh?
Don't take it too hard. A couple cute little dolls like you shouldn't have any trouble finding boyfriends. Oh, hi, Susie. Wait right there. I'm walking you home.
Okay.
Here, hold these a minute. You want to feel my muscle?
Yes.
What do you think you're doing? That Ruth's a kook. Come on, doll, let's go.
Kate, he's coming down the road. Oh, good. He ain't a pussyfooting around this time. He's walking real proud with his head held high.
You know, with his head so big now, I'm surprised he can lift it.
Will you hold these?
Look at that. He's got her carrying his books now.
I'm surprised he hasn't got her carrying him.
You can be real proud of that boy. I built him into a real McCoy.
Well, like I was saying, I think I'll go out for a little baseball and football this year. A little basketball, too. You know, they need us tall, muscular guys on the team.
You know how I got this muscle? Combing your hair.
No, pitching horseshoes. Here, I'll let you watch me pitch a little horseshoe.
I have to be going home.
But you don't want to see my muscle bulge when I pitch him?
There's nothing shy about him now. He's giving up both barrels. That's the way I used to handle him.
I've really got to go.
Before you go, I got a big surprise for you.
Surprise?
Yep. You know the school dance? Well, I could have asked any girl I wanted, but I decided to take you.
Well, I've got a surprise for you. You're not taking me to the school dance.
I'm not?
She played hard to get.
You're going with somebody else?
All I know is I'm not going with you.
She's playing so hard to get, she ain't going to get got.
I never thought she'd refuse him.
Grandpa, you can't blame her the way he asked her.
What are you talking about? She should have been happy he asked her. She didn't even have a good reason. Hey, wait, where you going? I'm going to have a talk with that little girl.
Grandpa, don't you think you've done enough already?
Little girl, Susie.
Yes, Mr. McCoy?
I happened to hear you talking to little Luke, and I heard him ask you to go to the dance with him. Why ain't you going?
Well, he didn't ask me. He told me.
He's a good boy. Comes a good stock. And he's a good dancer.
I know, and he's tall and he's handsome and he's got big muscles, too.
Oh, you noticed that, did you?
You have to notice it. He told me all about it. He's gotten to be the most conceited boy in the whole school, bragging and showing off.
Well, he's got a lot to brag about.
I used to like him a lot, and I wanted him to take me to the dance.
You did?
But I don't know what's happened to him. It seems like somebody terrible got hold of him and changed him.
Somebody terrible?
Yes, and the way he is now, I don't want to ever see him again. You know, Mr. McCoy, if I were you, I'd find out who he's been keeping company with.
Somebody terrible.
What'd she say, Grandpa?
Talk with his son.
You must be pretty ashamed of me, huh, Grandpa?
Ashamed of you?
Well, yeah, because I'm not like the rest of the McCoys. You know that special appeal we're supposed to have with women? Well, I thought I had it for a while, but I guess I lost it.
You ain't lost nothing, boy. It's me I'm ashamed of. That little girl wasn't turning you down. It was me she was turning down.
You?
Yeah, all that smart aleck talk you was giving her, that was stuff that I put in your mind.
Oh, you're just trying to make me feel better.
No, it ain't so. It was all right till I got a hold of you.
Well, what about all them special qualities us McCoys are supposed to have with women?
Well, all them things I said ain't quite so.
You mean we really don't have them?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, because women likes us McCoys just like anybody else, but I think they likes us best when we ain't pretending to be something we ain't. And I was wrong when I tried to change you.
Well, I sure wasn't getting nowhere the way I was before.
Now, that's why you was wrong. But Susie said she likes you then. She was real took with you.
She said that?
Yes, sir. I had a talk with her, and I drug it out of her.
I don't get it. I didn't even have nerve enough to ask her to the school dance.
Well, let me tell you something, son. The same thing happened to me when I first met your grandma. I don't know how long it was before I could get up enough gumption to ask you to go out.
Honest? Well, how'd you finally do it?
Well, I don't rightly recall. I guess I wanted to go out with her so hard that the word's finally come out by the sheriffs. Same way it's going to come out with you and Susie.
Gee.
Well, I hope this little talk has sort of cleared things up for you.
It sure has, Grandpa. Thanks a lot.
And you're going to know how to handle Susie from here on?
Yep. I'm just going to go back to being naturally charming like I was before. Hi, Susie. Susie?
What do you want?
Oh, nothing. Just hello.
Hello and goodbye.
Well, is it all right if I walk with you?
We live in a democracy. You can walk anywhere you like.
Susie, there's something I'd like to ask you.
Well, the answer is no. I'm not interested in feeling your muscles.
It wasn't that.
And I don't want your autograph.
I didn't mean that.
And I'm not as big and strong as you are, so I haven't got the strength to carry your books while you comb your hair, Kooky.
Horses a minute. In the first place, I threw my comb away. In the second place, all I wanted was a chance to say I was sorry for acting so dopey. And in the third place, if we live in such a democracy, why don't you give a fellow a chance to apologize in the first place?
Apology accepted.
Carry your books?
Well, boys come of age.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's like all they say, Luke. If anybody in the family has a problem, all they got to do is be honest and straight from the shoulder and bring it to Grandpa. That's why they can't help him.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Coffee's about right this morning.
Thank you, Grandpa. I made it good and strong. You know you always say, why drink a lot of water to get a little coffee?
Has she coming back for breakfast?
Well, since she spent the night at Sue's, I expect you'll have breakfast there.
Boy, I bet that'll be something. I hear they have butlers and maids and everything.
You know, I ain't so sure it's a good thing for Hassie, being with money people like that.
Why, Grandpa? Sue's a nice girl, and ain't her fault her grandpa's rich. Here they are.
Wow, look at that car.
I've never seen one so big.
Hey, look here, Grandpa. Oh, my. They even got a chauffeur.
Huh. What a hullabaloo. You'd think it was a Queen of Sheba or the Secretary of Agriculture or something.
Well, it is kind of exciting. I don't believe I ever met a millionaire before.
Well, I have. They're just a bunch of stuck-ups. You see one millionaire, you see them all.
I'm going to take a look at that car.
I would be wearing this old thing.
Oh, that's good enough. This is no time for us to be showing off. We is what we is, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. We just act like we always does. And remember that.
This is Sue's grandpa, Mr. Devereaux.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It certainly is, sir. Thank you,
And this is my grandpa, Grandpa Mr. Devereaux.
More power to you.
Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. McCoy.
Nice to see you, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you.
I hope we haven't dropped in at an inconvenient time.
Oh, no.
No, we were just hanging around waiting for the banks to open.
Would you like a cup of coffee, Mr. Devereaux?
That would be very nice, Mrs. McCoy.
Excuse me.
Hattie, you were going to show me your baby chicks, remember? Oh, that's right. Come on.
Well, certainly a nice home you have here.
Well, thank you. Oh, won't you sit down there on the sofa?
Here you are.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. McCoy.
Thank you, Luke.
Hope it ain't too strong for you.
Well, I'll tell you in a moment. Oh, my, no, this is perfect.
It is?
Yes. I always say, why drink a lot of water to get a little coffee?
Well, I'll be goddamn.
My housekeeper just can't seem to make it strong enough for me.
Yeah, well, I've been having the same trouble here with mine, you see. The way I feel about coffee is it should be black enough and thick enough so you can either drink it or paint with it.
Oh, that's very good. I'll have to tell my housekeeper about that. You're a man of rare taste, Mr. McCoy.
Well, you know, I'd be rightly proud if you called me Amos.
And I'd be mighty proud if you called me Henry.
Well, thank you, Henry. And if you ain't took up for Friday afternoon, I'd like to have you come over and pitch a few horseshoes.
Well, I'd like that very much, yes. But unfortunately, my business calls for me to go to Europe next week.
To Europe? Well, ain't that exciting?
Yes, and I'm thinking about taking my granddaughter Susan with me.
Is that a fact?
The trip will be an exceptional opportunity for Susan. It will give her a chance to come in contact with the culture of the old world. It'll be a real education for her.
Well, I should say so, indeed.
Well, I suppose I might just as well come to the point. You see, I'd like Hassie to take the trip with us.
To Europe?
Uh-huh. She'll be wonderful company for Sue, and it'll make things much easier for me.
Did you hear that, Grandpa?
Naturally, I haven't mentioned a word of this to Hassie. I wanted to get your approval first.
Well, now that's just about the best thing in the whole world that could ever happen to Hassie.
Yes. I've planned our itinerary so the girls will be learning every minute. First, we'll start off in Paris with the art museums, and then we'll go to Brussels, and then Rome, and then Milan, the opera, La Scala, and we finish in London with the Shakespearean Theater.
Well, I just can't believe it. Paris?
Oh.
London?
Oh, I don't know what to say.
Well, I do. The one thing that's got to be said is Hassie can't go.
How's that, Grandpa?
Well, we live sort of plain like Henry, and Hassie's been satisfied up to now because it's all she's ever known. But after fancy things and first-class living, why, she ain't going to be happy to come back.
Oh, now, Grandpa, I don't think one little trip is going to change her.
No, it ain't right to give her a taste of something good, Kate, and then drag it away from her.
Oh, but, Grandpa, it'll be educational.
Not much else to be said.
May I make a suggestion? Don't make up your minds right now. Just why don't you think it over for a day or two?
Well, it won't change nothing.
We'll do that, Mr. Devereaux. We'll give it some thought.
Good. Well, I must be off. Lots of things to do to get ready. It's been nice meeting you all, and especially nice sampling your coffee, Mrs. McCoy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Amos.
Goodbye. Where? Are they coming along?
They grow twice as big every day. How'd you like Mr. Devereaux?
Oh, just fine.
Isn't he nice?
Yeah, we had a nice little talk, and he mentioned that he was going on a little trip. He figured to take Sue along with him. And then we had some coffee and...
Where are they going on their trip?
Who?
Sue and her grandfather.
Oh, here and there, just a little no-account trip.
Oh, where?
Well, I believe they're going to start off up around Bakersfield and Edgemont and Burn Forest and... Oh, and you know, London, Paris, and Rome, and all that sort of thing.
They're going to Europe? How fabulous.
You know, it's just a shame she's going to be gone when all the big doing starts around here. is the covered dish bean supper at the farm club coming up. And this year, I understand they're going to have a real live accordion player.
Just imagine. Rome.
And next Friday, we're going to that new Italian restaurant in town. Leastwise, there, we won't have no trouble with the drinking water.
Just imagine. That Sue has just about the most wonderful grandfather in the whole world. He sure must love her an awful lot.
Yeah, I reckon so. You know, Hash, there was one more thing I didn't get a chance to mention. Mr. Devereaux, that is, he asked if it would be all right if you went along, too.
Me? To Europe?
Yeah. And, of course, me, I was thinking what's best for you. I was all for it.
You were? Grandpa, I can't believe it. You mean all the places I've read about, Rome and Paris, I'll really get to see them?
Sure you will. In reading about them, you know, well, that's really educational, but seeing them, why, that's culture. It's like all I said, education is just fine, but you just can't hold a candle to culture.
I'll need another pair of shoes, too. I expect you will, Hank. A nice, comfortable pair of walking shoes so you don't get blisters.
Well, I won't be doing that much walking. What I need are some dancing shoes.
Oh, now, come on, Hattie. You know you're not going to get your money's worth out of a pair of shoes just for dancing.
Oh, yes, I will. Sue's going to ask her grandpa if we can take the boat instead of the plane. Oh, there'll be parties all the way over. And Sue says there's just oodles of dreamy college boys on the boat.
But I still think you're going to need some nice low walkers for all them tours of the museums and such.
Museums? Oh, sure, the museum.
Come back, we'll be all painted up. Of course, it ain't like the painting that you'll be seeing over there.
What painting?
Well, them masterpieces in the Paris art galleries.
Oh, those. Well, we're only going to be in Paris a week, so we may have to skip the art galleries. Sue has a cousin who's going to give a reception for us so we can meet some nice boys. Well, there'll be shopping and hairdressers to go to and beauty salons.
Yeah, but them pictures is something you ought to see.
Well, they say you can learn more about a place by meeting and talking with the people.
In hairdressers and beauty salons?
After all, this trip is to have fun, isn't it? And we want to look our best. How's that for a bikini?
It's dreamy. It's almost like mine, except yours has a little more to it.
Your grandfather doesn't know, does he?
You wouldn't understand.
I can hardly wait. The south of France. Do you really think we'll ever have a chance to wear them?
Well, sure we will.
We're only going to be on the Riviera for 3 days, and we're supposed to go on those guided all-day tours.
I already told you. If we can get on a bus, we can get off a bus. Your grandpa. Garçon, l'édition, s'il vous plaît.
Say, it's considerable cooler out on the porch.
We need the light to study, Grandpa.
Oh,
Would you like to hear us practice our French, Mr. McCoy?
all right. Go ahead, practicing, huh? I'll leave you know if you make some mistakes.
Comment allez-vous, monsieur? Je suis très heureux de vous voir.
What was that you said? Which way to the museum?
So I said, how are you, sir? I'm very happy to meet you.
And then if the boy says, voulez-vous vous promener, that means, would you like to take a walk?
And then we say, oui, oui, ce serait un grand plaisir.
That means get lost? We're looking for the museum?
Oh, oui, oui means yes. And the rest means it would be a pleasure.
Well, now, how do you ask how to get to the museum?
Grandpa, you're just as bad as Luke. We don't want to spend all our time in the museums. That's for tourists.
Well, what you two going over as, occupation forces?
Oh, don't fret. Come on, let's practice in the bedroom.
What have you got there?
I don't know, Luke. What do you make it out to be?
It looks like some Kate's sewing scraps.
Well, it's all wrapped up special in the box, dear. And it can't be pot holders because the cloth's too thin.
Oh, well, Grandpa, if it come in a box, it's probably something Hansie bought for a trip. Well, more than likely, that's a little hair bonnet.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what they wear to bed at night. See, it's got these places for ears.
What's keeping you two?
Oh, we were just coming along. We were looking at Hansie's new hair bonnet.
That's not a hair bonnet. Claire.
What is it?
Well, this here's part of a bikini bathing suit.
Part of a bathing suit? Which part? The belt?
No, it's not the belt. It's, this here's the whole suit.
Well, you mean that is the entire...
And she wears this right out in public? Well, it looks like not only is she going to see a lot of Europe, but Europe's going to see a lot of her.
I just don't know what to say.
Well, I think this here says something that we all been trying not to say. You know, it's plain from talking to Hansie that the culture part of this here trip is furthest thing from her mind.
That's true, Grandpa, but it's only natural at her age.
I ain't denying that it's natural. I'm only saying that since she is at that age, she ain't ready to appreciate a trip like this.
I expect Grandpa's right, Kate.
But what about Mr. Devereaux? He's counting on Hassie going along.
Well, that can't be helped. It's the way us McCoys handles things. When we know something ain't right, we come out and say so. And this ain't right. And we should let Mr. Devereaux know right off tonight.
Well...
It's going to be rough on Hassie, but it's the best thing.
All right, let's go.
Grandpa, I have to stay here with little Luke. He ain't been feeling too well.
Then we'll go, Luke, huh?
Oh, well, I think maybe you better tell Mr. Devereaux. I mean, after all, you're the head of the family.
All right, never mind. Then I'll go myself. I'll call and say I'm a-coming.
I sure hope we're doing the right thing.
Well, we sure are. I'm all for exposing of the culture, but not this much exposing.
Now then, Mrs. Cartwright, let's get back to this. You say you found this in Susan's room, hmm?
That's right.
Well, how do we know it's hers?
Well, it certainly isn't mine.
No, I can see that.
I don't suppose it's my place to say this, but Mr. Devereaux, your granddaughter sees this trip a lot differently than you do.
Well, I hadn't anticipated any problems. I had planned to take care of my business while the girls went on the guided, supervised bus tours in every city, you know?
If you can get on a bus, you can get off a bus.
Oh, well, that's for sure. Anybody... What do you mean?
That's what they're thinking.
I suppose I should seriously consider putting this trip off. But what can I say to the McCoys? I'm awfully glad you dropped by. Give us a chance to talk about the trip.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Hassie still wants to go, doesn't she?
Oh, sure, she wants to go, all right.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Sue, I guess she's ready to go, too, ain't she?
Sue? Who's... Oh, yes, Sue. Yes, she's all set.
Yeah, well, I'm glad about that. But, Henry, I want you to know that we do appreciate this wonderful offer.
Before you go any further, there's something I'd like to say.
Well, excuse me, Henry. If you don't mind, I think I should ought to say what I got to say first. We've been sort of talking this over at the house, and we sort of decided that Hassie shouldn't go along.
So you don't want Hassie to go?
Well, I know it's terrible upsetting to your plans, and I know it's terrible disappointing to you, but, well, Hassie just ain't of age yet.
Oh, this is wonderful.
What's that?
Well, I've been trying to think of some way to tell you the same thing. I don't think the girl should make the trip.
Well, I'll be God. You mean it?
Absolutely. A lot of things convinced me, Amos, but what finally did it was this. Now, I don't know what influenced you about Hassie, but,
Too of them almost makes a bathing suit.
I can't sure I believe that's mine. Thank you. I can't tell you how relieved I feel that we see things the same way.
Well, I'm glad we do too, Henry.
Then it's all set. The girls stay at home.
Yeah, I think it's best. Well, I better be getting on back to the house.
All right, Amos. And you can tell the girls the trip is off.
Me tell them?
Well, yes, it'd be more convenient for you. They're at your house.
Well,
Oh, well, somebody has to break the news to them.
But, Henry, I figured seeing as how you was going along with them, that you sure ought to tell them.
Well, I would be glad to. But it seems to balance things more. Since I was the one to invite them, you could be the one to call it off, you see?
Well, all right, I'll explain to them that you changed your mind and you want to take them along with you.
Oh, no. Maybe I'd better go along with you.
Well, no, you don't have to, but I don't know. I'm not taking
Oh, Grandpa, I didn't hear you drive up.
Evening, Mr. Devereaux.
Good evening, Mrs. McCoy.
Evening.
Well, it seems Mr. Devereaux feels the same way we do about it. He's going to call off the trip.
Oh, thank heaven for that.
Say, how's little Luke?
Well, I was about to tell you. The doctor just left. He's got the chicken pox.
Chicken pox?
Ain't that terrible?
I've got to get into him. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, my. That's too bad about the boy.
Yeah, I guess he won't be able to go to the bean supper with us. Chicken pox is awful contagious.
Yeah, sure is that. A body with the chicken pox, sure, they just can't go no place.
Is that so? Well, shall we get to the business at hand? Where are the girls?
Oh, they're back in Hassie's room.
Hold on. Could be we don't have to say a thing. Could be we don't have to disappoint the girls at all.
What do you mean, Amos?
Well, little Luke's got the chicken pox, ain't he?
Yes.
And he's Hassie's blood sister, and she's sleeping right in the next room to him. Now, well, if we was lucky, she could get herself infected.
Grandpa! How can you wish a thing like that on your own granddaughter? Besides, she's already had the chicken pox.
I won't wish nothing on nobody. What do you think I am, anyways? You sure she can't have it again?
Yes, I'm sure.
How about Sue?
Oh, well, I wouldn't even consider the possibility.
Oh, she's had it too?
Yes, she has.
There ain't nothing much we can do but just march in and break the news.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Henry? You first.
Oh, no, after you.
Guest is always first. No, that's Luke's room. The girls is in there.
And we'll have oodles of fun with my grandfather. He's just about the sweetest man in the world.
You sure are lucky to have a grandfather like that.
Your grandpa can't come, too.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him something awful.
Amos, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, you gotta tell him sometime.
Well, maybe not. There comes a time in every man's life when he must make a decision. And when that time comes, he must act promptly and decisively.
What are you getting at?
One fact has not been mentioned. Namely, I haven't had chicken pox.
You know you can't do it.
Amos, what must be done, must be done.
I won't listen to it.
It's a far, far better thing I do than I could have done in there. You'll come to visit me, won't you?
Every day.
Where's Mr. Devereaux?
He's in there, in the Luke's room.
What?
Yeah. You know he's got a lot more gumption than I give him credit for. And you know, Luke, if Henry Devereaux had a little less money, why, he'd almost make a real McCoy.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
The responsibilities of the office of president of the Junior Grange are manifold. I know that you will make your choice after long and careful consideration. And I can assure you that in the event that I am chosen, I will do my utmost to fulfill those obligations of the office of president of the Junior Grange. Thank you.
It was a terrible good speech Charlie made.
Yeah. Sure different from last spring when he get up to give a talk. He was as scared then as Luke is right now.
We'll now hear from our other candidate, Mr. Luke McCoy.
Grandpa, I never see Luke look so scared.
Every time that boy tries to speak in public, his words always lose a sense of direction. Head right back for his stomach.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. President of the Senior Grange, all you out there, members, I mean. Charlie Perry made a good speech. I liked it. And I know all of you liked it, because the way you all clapping your hands out there. And I know that Charlie liked it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spoke it. Which brings up the Grange. I got some ideas. I got 4 points that I think are pretty good. I like Charlie's speech. And I hope all of you vote for me, because I want to be the president, too. Thank you. Well, I guess I'm done.
Folks, now you've met both of the candidates. You've heard their qualifications. We'll have the election at the next general meeting. I hereby declare this meeting adjourned.
Morning, honey. Would you like some ham and eggs?
Well, no, could you just hold up on it? I want to give this letter to Mr. Perkins when he delivers the mail. It's got to get to the Grange back tomorrow morning.
The letter to the Grange? What's it about?
I'm resigning from being nominated.
Resigning? And you a McCoy? Why, this ain't never happened before, Luke. McCoys has been killed running away from a fight, but never surrendered.
You heard me talk. I made a fool out of myself. I ain't got a chance. And I ain't gonna stand up on that platform again, scared to death, and shake my socks down over my shoes for nobody.
Grandpa?
Now, wait a minute, boy.
Mr. Perkins! Mr. Perkins, would you mail this letter for me?
Perkins, don't you dare take it.
Just a minute there, McCoy. You can't have that.
Now, look, that's a McCoy letter. You're on McCoy property, and as the head of the McCoys, I want it back.
Hold it! Now, when a letter is given to me, it ain't just given to me. It's given to the United States Postal Service. And it's got to stay in official custody until it is delivered to the person for whom it is intended.
Luke, you're a lily-livered coward.
Yeah, look, Grandpa, it don't make no difference whether I run or not.
Now I'm beginning to understand. You are resigning from the Junior Grange election. Luke, I heard the way you tried to speech make. Seems a pity you didn't do what Charlie Perry did last spring.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Perkins. What was it Charlie Perry done?
They took a course.
What course?
That one down at night school on public speaking and personality development. That sure helped uncork him.
That's where he filled his wind bag.
The new class starts next Friday.
Now, listen, look,
Grandpa, I ain't going to no class. Besides, my letter of resignation is in the hands of the United States government.
Actually, there is a technicality here. It's not in the hands of the government until it's dropped in my bag.
And you ain't dropped it yet.
I guess not.
Luke, as of Friday night, you're going to start uncorking.
It's an honor for a man to take part in community affairs. And a man needn't stop there. Greater opportunities beckon to a man of leadership. Even a young San Fernando Valley could emerge from obscurity to become a city councilman, state representative, mayor, even governor of his great state. Gentlemen, that is America's promise to all of us.
To you new students, a splendid example of an impromptu speech. You will find, as the class continues, that you too will lose your fears and inhibitions. Perhaps not as thoroughly as Mr. Walters, but you will gain poise, maturity, gain stature, and confidence. Will you come in, please?
Maybe I'll come back next year.
No, you want to join our class in public speaking. Well, then come right in. Gracious. Gentlemen, I want you to meet Mr. Luke? McCoy? Mr. Luke McCoy.
Thank you.
McCoy, I've seen many men come into my classes just as tongue-tied and frightened as you are. But I assure you, you will overcome your problem. You do want to overcome it, don't you?
Huh?
Speak, open your mouth, talk about anything. Well, you can't think of anything. All right, I'll give you a suggestion. What did you have for dinner? Tell us about that.
Well, I had, I didn't eat too much.
Mr. McCoy, are you frightened? Are you afraid of Mr. Enoch, Mr. Sylvester, Mr. Cummings, Mr. Donahue? Or perhaps you're just generally afraid. Just a normal, weak, spineless, miserable coward.
Well, now, wait just a minute. I ain't afraid of nobody. You or them or all of you put together. And for dinner, I had pork chops and mashed potatoes and gravy and dandelion greens and 2 pieces of apple pie and a pitcher of milk. And if anybody don't like it, they can just step outside. I spoke. Without no trouble. I've done it.
Indeed, you did. And this is only the beginning.
Hello there, Grandpa!
Look, you like to scare me to death.
Well, I'm sorry, Grandpa. I didn't mean to.
Don't you never do that again.
It's an earthquake. Everybody under a doorway. Luke, what happened?
Oh, this grandson of mine come a-bellering in here. He scared me half to death.
Well, I was just trying to show you what I learned tonight. But don't you notice nothing different about me?
Yes, your shoes is all covered with my milk and pie.
No, I mean, about my public speaking.
Public speaking? Why, that's public yelling. You'd like to stab me clean out of my bathrobe.
Grandpa!
Oh, it's all right. I was just fooling myself. I should have known better than to think I could learn how to talk. Like you say, Grandpa, you can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but it's still a pitiful-looking purse.
Okay, look, it's 9:30 and we've been out there working in the field for 3 hours. Now, where's Luke at?
Grandpa, I've never seen him so down. He's just sitting in a corner in the living room, just moping and feeling bad.
Well, he can feel just as bad out there working in the fresh air and the sunshine.
Grandpa, no. Now, after last night, I think you just best leave him alone.
What was I supposed to do after he explodes in my ear and slams all my backbones out of place?
You don't have to keep telling him he's stupid. He's not going to have any confidence in himself that way.
Well, what you want, that I should go in there and apologize to him?
No, but Luke went to school to learn how to talk, Grandpa. We got to give him confidence. No matter what he says, we got to tell him it's wonderful. The best we ever heard.
You mean lie to the boy?
Well, in a way.
It's a good idea. Surprised you thought of it.
Sort of mellow him up a little bit. Luke, you ain't had your breakfast yet.
Ain't hungry.
Luke, you know you ain't hardly talked to me since you came home last night. You didn't even tell me what happened in class.
Nothing happened.
Last night you acted like something had. Come on, tell me about it.
Nothing happened at all. Except when
Except in what?
Excepting Mr. Burquist said what happened to me was like a miracle. Like a total eclipse. But nobody around here even gives a hoot.
I hoot, darling. Come on, tell me.
Well, Kate, I got up in front of that class and I give a speech right in front of everybody.
Everybody? Luke!
And the words just come tumbling out, one right after another. Pretty regular.
Oh, Luke, what was the speech? Come on, do it for me.
Well, it ain't exactly no Gettysburg Address.
Oh, come on, I want to hear it.
All right. My dinner. For dinner last night, I had pork chops, mashed potatoes and gravy, dandelion greens, 2 pieces of apple pie, and a pitcher of milk.
Turn that television set on again, quick.
Yeah, how's that?
I ain't heard that voice making a speech in over 35 years. I'd know it anywhere.
What voice?
The voice of that silver-tongued order. The great commoner, William Jennings Bryan.
William Jennings Bryan?
Don't waste time. Turn it on again. I don't want to miss one of them thrilling words a flying out of that glorious throat.
Oh, we didn't have the set on. That was Luke.
Kate, don't lie to me. Don't tell me nothing so overwhelming. Listen, it's the truth.
Honest and true, Grandpa. It was me.
You, boy? William Jennings Bryan lives again.
Now, if you've been listening careful to everything I've been saying for the last 20 minutes, you'll know why prices are as high as they are instead of as low as they ought to be.
Splendid. And now, Mr. Walters will...
And now, the question is, what can be done about it? Well, that's a good question. And I got a little plan all figured out. See, all you got to do, although you ain't saying much, Grandpa, I can tell that you like the idea of McCoy in politics. Oh, yeah, not that I'm thinking on it, but, well, you'd be awful proud of me. Standing there on the curb, waving to me as I go past. Riding there in an open car, with all them people just yelling and cheering at me.
fellow Americans and all the ships at sea. This is your president, Luke McCoy, speaking to you from the White House, USA. First of all,
Coast clear?
Luke went into town, Grandpa. You ready for lunch?
I'm starved. What did Luke go to town for?
He went in to rent a tape recorder so he could practice his speech for the Grange tonight.
And I wish he'd put that tape over his mouth instead of on the machine.
Now, Grandpa.
Well, he's back. It's too late. Forget the lunch. I'll grab me a piece of bread on the way out and pick me some turnips.
well, if it ain't my beloved family. Am I glad you're here? Look, I want you to listen to a joke I'm going to spring on them tonight. It seems like this city fellow was criticizing the farmer about the way he was milking his cow. And this farmer, he just looked that city fellow right straight in his eye, and he said to him, "Don't you tell me what to do. No, I've been milking cows from way back." And that's where you milk them from. Isn't that a knee slapper? Oh, that poor old Charlie Perry. I tell you, he ain't going to have a chance against snappy stuff like that. And then after I get them all warmed up, well, I'm going to make my big surprise announcement.
What announcement, Luke?
Well, Grandpa, I think you'll appreciate it more if you hear it the way I'm going to tell it to him at the Grange tonight. See, I'm going to start off like this. Neighbors, I'm glad to see you, real glad to see you. I mean it. You notice that sincerity? They gotta love me for that. Friends, I want you to know you done me a great honor by begging me to be your president. I'm afraid I got some terrible, disappointing news for you tonight. I hereby resign from running.
Good, great.
No cheers. A far greater call has come to me. I hereby announce that I am running for town councilman of the San Fernando Valley because it's the next step to becoming your mayor. There's Mr. Perkins. Look, I want to go out and try my little announcement on him.
And I thought the Zeppelin was a big gas bag.
Grandpa, we're running for town councilman.
Hey, what's everybody doing in here?
Suffering.
Oh, a tape recorder. Hello, everybody. This is Big Mouth Luke McCoy talking. And talking and talking and talking.
That be. What's happening to Luke is no joke. It's a tragedy. He just announced he's running for councilman.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and it's all your fault, Kate. You was the one that got us to make out like we thought his gibble-gabble was wonderful.
I only done it because I thought it'd help him.
It used to be he didn't talk much. He made real good sense. Now he talks all the time and he don't say nothing.
What are we going to do?
Well, we just got to have a meeting out in back where he can't hear us and see if we can get him out of it. He's still a McCoy. Once a McCoy, always McCoy. Even if it is embarrassing.
I chased after Perkins, but he kept on going. I guess he didn't hear me. Oh. Oh, my. Neighbors, I'm glad to see you. Real glad to see you. And I mean it. Oh, you got him, Luke. Sick him, boy. Sick him.
Hello, everybody. This is Big Mouth Luke McCoy talking. And talking and talking and talking.
That be. What's happening to Luke is no joke. It's a tragedy. He just announced he's running for councilman.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's all your fault, Kate. You was the one that got us to make out like we thought his gibble-gabble was wonderful.
I only done it because I thought it'd help him.
It used to be he didn't talk much. He made real good sense. Now he talks all the time and he don't say nothing.
I will work tirelessly for the Grange so that our voices will be heard throughout the San Fernando Valley. Thank you.
Grandpa, I'm worried about can't imagine where he's been since he drove off this afternoon.
Well, at least I won't have to stop him from making a fool of himself.
Well, folks, we've heard from Charlie Perry, but our other candidate doesn't seem to be here yet, so I guess we'll just have to...
I'm here, Your Honor.
Well, here he is, folks. Luke McCoy.
Folks, I've got an announcement I'd like to make. I ain't running for the presidency of the Junior Grange. I got another announcement I'd like to make. I ain't running for nothing. What I'm trying to say is, I like being part of your team, but I'm not the man to be your captain. Charlie Perry's better suited for that than me. You know, I one time read that Abe Lincoln once said, nobody ever expected me to be president. Well, as far as my family's concerned, I guess me and Abe Lincoln's got a lot in common. Well, I don't want to be the kind of a fellow that don't know when to stop talking. That's it.
William Jennings Bryan never made a better speech.
Well, Sugar Babe, what are you doing?
Just welcoming back the old Luke McCoy.
The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he may take Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Oh, Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Well, that's the last one. Yeah, but it don't look like a farmhouse no more. Looks more like a big can of tamales.
Well, at least he didn't cover up the windows.
Imagine me, Pepino Garcia, with the world's greatest matador for a cousin. I kiss my mother for having a sister who had such a magnificent son.
Yeah, well, what's important right now is if he was a berry picker instead of a bull sticker.
You know, I hear tell that south of the border, them bullfighting fellas is more popular than movie stars.
Much more. That's why he's going to Hollywood. They're going to make a movie of his life. At last, Hollywood has come of age.
Yeah, and so is our strawberries. While we're standing here talking, our whole crop is hanging heavy on the vines.
El primero will only honor us for a little while, Senor Grandpa. And I promise you, the berries will not spoil. I will pick night and day.
Hey, Peppino, I got the bull song for your cousin, Peppina.
That's not the bull song. Give me that. That's the theme song of the torero. It's like a 22-gun salute to a great matador. Ta-da! Tri-ta-ta! You don't know what it is to be a torero. Countries invite Fernando Garcia. Kings and queens say, be my guest. Crowds line the streets yelling. Beautiful señoritas throw flowers. Ay, caramba, torero. Viva Fernando!
You know,
Si, Senora Kate?
Pino, that chili lunch you're cooking on the stove is just bubbling, growling.
Wait for my cousin while I take a look.
Well, I'd like to hear that record.
Pino's proud as a peacock, that cousin of his.
He sure is, Luke. You say, do you suppose this Fernandes fellas has been learned enough American so he can understand us whilst we're talking?
Oh, sure, Grandpa. Any fellow's been hobnobbing with kings and queens ought to have learned enough to be able to talk to us.
But, Pino, are you sure this stuff is safe?
Just about ready. My eyes are watering. Maybe a little more Tabasco.
Peppino, I think your cousin's coming. There's a big white car coming down the road.
He's here. Viva Fernando! Viva Fernando! It's him, el primero, my cousin Fernando. Is he not magnifico? Viva Fernando!
What do we say? How are we supposed to act?
I guess you can't go wrong with a wave and a cheer.
Welcome, my cousin Fernando. My first cousin Fernando. Welcome.
Pepinolito, it's a pleasure to see you.
Gracias, Matador, gracias. And now I would like you very much to introduce you my adopted family. This is Senora Kate McCoy.
Howdy.
How gracious that one as lovely as you would expose yourself to the broiling sun to welcome this weary traveler.
Much obliged.
This is Senorita Hassie McCoy.
We've heard so much about you.
I was delayed because Manuelo, my man who drives and handles the traveling details, is no longer with me.
Oh, boy.
This is little Luke McCoy. The music. This is Senor Luke McCoy. How do? And now the head of the McCoys, Senor Grandpa McCoy.
Your servant, sir.
Oli. Fernandes, you're welcome to the hospitality of our humble home. Just as long as you want to stay this afternoon.
60,000 people in the Plaza de Toros, the greatest crowd at a corrida in the history of Spain, chanting, El primero, el primero. And Manuelo, my man, is pleading with me. Only yesterday you were gored, and today you face the fiercest bull of all. You will be no match for him. You will be killed. Well, I told him, Manuelo, what will be, will be. Proud, but still. The bull. Treacherous, cunning. And in that final moment, we faced each other. Then the horns lowered. The moment of truth. An eternity of silence. Then the great head raised. The horns reached for me. The bull was quick, but I was quicker. Oh,
I guess you never heard about the time when I was treated by a bear, did you? It was a big bear. In a small tree.
Yes, of course. Senora McCoy, I have dined on Canat Pressé at Le Grand Before in Paris, savored the fettuccine at Alfredo's in Rome, but never have I tasted anything as heavenly as your hot tamales.
Well, thank you very much, but Peppino done it all by himself.
Peppino?
A little something I threw together in the spur of a moment.
Peppino, you have the touch of gold in your fingers.
Gracias, Matador.
When I lost Manuelo, I thought that I would never taste cooking like his again.
Yeah, well, senor, now that we've all gorged ourselves...
Why don't we retire to the parlor?
Of course. Aquí, Matador. Stay.
Wasn't there ever a time when you thought you weren't going to make it, that you didn't have a chance?
Oh,
Many times, Senora.
Well, what kind of chance do you think I had with that bear snapping at my hip pockets? And no gun, no knife, no nothing.
How did you save yourself, Senor?
Well, I'll tell you what I done.
The first time we heard it, he took off his shoe and dropped it down the bear's throat and choked him to death. And the second time, he just bent that tree like a slingshot and flung himself into the river. And the third time, he dropped out of the tree on top of the bear and just wrestled him right out of his fur coat.
Well, for your information, there was 3 different bears.
Gracias, Pepino.
¿De qué?
Oh, permiso. Café espresso. Delicioso. Pepino, did you make this too?
I pounded each coffee bean separately.
There was only one other man who could make espresso like this, and that was Manuelo. But yours is much better. Oh, well, I must be going. My gratitude for your kindness and hospitality. Oh, I enjoyed your amusing story about the 3 little bears. Now, if I may crave your indulgence, you see, Pepino is the closest of all my first cousins, and I would like a moment to say adios to him alone.
Of course.
Adios, my friends.
Bye.
Bye to you.
3 little bears. I never seen such gall as that fist kiss has got.
Oh, now, Grandpa, El Primero didn't mean nothing. He's just an educated, charming gentleman.
Oh, yeah, well, you'd say that on account of the slobbering and done all over your hand there.
Grandpa, there's nothing wrong with polite manners. Might be some people around here could take a few lessons.
Oh, there is? Yeah, well, maybe you do a favor for me, Mrs. Scener Reader.
What might that be?
Wash that hand before you get my supper.
So, you are settled, eh, Pepino?
Sí, sí.
Pepino Garcia, farmer. You work hard, and you live in a nice little house.
Oh, no, Matador. I don't live in the house. I got my own room, the barn.
The barn?
See, it's very nice. All to myself.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. With such tremendous opportunities before you, you choose to live in a barn?
But I like it. I'm very happy with all my friends and... Opportunities? What opportunities?
Listen to me, Pepino. You are a Garcia, are you not?
Sí.
Your blood is my blood, is it not?
Sí, sí.
We are of the same family. We share the same heritage, do we not?
Sí, sí, sí.
Then, Pepino, we face the same destiny. We are matadors. It is for us to face the fiercest of bulls before 1,000 eyes, to hear their cheers thunder in 100 plazas, in 100 cities.
But, Matador, I know nothing of the bulls.
Pepino, what a matador must have here, you have. What you must learn, I can teach you.
You, El Primero? I never even dreamed that you would think of doing something like that for me. I can't believe what you're telling me.
We are cousins, aren't we? Of course, one doesn't become a matador overnight. It takes practice, training, learning, patience, little by little. But in the meantime, of course, you can occupy yourself with other things. A little cooking, a little sewing. See to a few of my needs. Hey, compadre?
Sí, compadre.
I will be finished with my business in Hollywood in a few days. I can pick you up then. This will give you time to pack, to clean up your affairs, and to say goodbye to the McCoys before you begin your new life of pleasure and dignity. The door.
Of course. I'll be packed. I'll be ready. After all, how long does it take to pack a tie? Then there's nothing left but to say goodbye to the McCoys. Adios, Matador! Say goodbye to the McCoys.
the time it took to say goodbye to that old fathead.
Grandpa, why are you picking at Peppino's cousin so mean?
Man, I just don't like him, Luke. I just don't like him. And it ain't because of that duty shirt he wears, neither.
You Alba?
Well, now that you had practical whole day's coffee break, how about doing a little work around here?
Well, I have something Well, you see, I got something to say.
Well, say it.
I'm going.
Where are you going?
Out to pick strawberries. Toro. If you weren't such an amateur bull, I'll jump in there and I'll give you a lesson you'll never forget. Afraid, huh? Well, the last of the strawberries.
See another one.
And now I got something to say.
Well, now I got something to say to you first. You know, we could have lost half of this crop on account of the heat. But you worked so hard, you helped us save it. Now, I want you to know we're proud of you. And you're just as much a McCoy as any of us here. You always was and you always will be.
Well, it means more to me than anything.
Now, what was you going to say?
Well, I was going to say goodbye.
Bye.
What do you mean, Peppino?
I mean, I'm going away.
Going away?
See, tomorrow with my cousin Fernando. To Madrid, to Barcelona, to be a matador.
I told you that El Primos was a sneak. I know it. Working your heart out to help us. You was working hard so you could run out on us, that's what.
Grandpa. Peppino, have you given this a lot of thought?
Si, Senora Kate.
Then we got no reason to stop you.
Well, we can stop him from making a fool of himself.
Now, Grandpa, it could be he's giving him a big chance.
Big chance? He's giving a lot of big, fat talk. That's what he's giving him. Why, he knows as well as I do Peppino wouldn't never make no matador.
But that's not true, Senor Grandpa. I come from a famous family. I got Garcia blood in my veins.
Yeah, and when you get in the ring with that bull, you're going to lose a lot of it, too. Now, look, Peppino, he don't want you to be no bullfighter. He wants you to be a girl-done servant like this Manella fella.
Oh, no, Senor Grandpa. He wants me to be a matador. He's a Garcia. I'm a Garcia.
Now, look, Peppino, I always figured you was one of us. But as of today, I am firing you from the McCoy family. And when you find out that you ain't no cow fighter and that you deserted your family for nothing, then don't come back here, because us and you is finished.
Peppino, you know Grandpa didn't mean that.
Of course not. We'll talk to him and...
Please, Senora Kate. Senor, look, I understand. And even though I've been fired from your family, I'll always feel I'm still a McCoy. You think you're fresh or something? Listen, you miserable imitation of a bull. I don't have too much patience left. Oh, afraid, huh? Get ready, big mouth. Peppino Garcia Matador is coming after you. Ah! Adoro. Right, you all. I'll cook my goose
And now I'll have to sleep in it.
Buenos días.
Buenos días, compadre. Good morning, Senora Kate, Senor Luke.
Morning, Pepino.
Well, Pepinolito, you are now ready, eager, dying to begin, huh?
Si, si.
Well, we must drive to the hotel and then the airport. So, I will say again, adios. It's been a great pleasure. Pepino, you will drive.
Si. Well, I guess this is really goodbye.
Yeah, I guess.
Take care of yourself, Pepino. Oh, here's a picture of all of us, and do right.
Oh, sure. And you will always know where I am from the newspaper. Well, tell the kids and Senor Grandpa I said so long. Well, I guess this is really goodbye.
Oh, no, Pepino. The back door.
Well, how am I going to drive from the back seat?
No. No, I will sit in the back. Oh, Pepino, if you don't mind, just for appearance sake, the press photographers at the airport, you know. If you don't mind wearing this. Once again, my dear friends, adios. No. My door first, then your door, compadre.
You mean I have to open your door, my brother?
Si.
Oh, it's pitiful, just pitiful.
Compadre, you've forgotten the door.
Well, I opened it, didn't I, my brother?
And so now you will close it, my cousin.
But, amigo, if you're sitting back there, why can't you do it?
Because I prefer that you do it.
Well, I prefer that I don't do it. And I also prefer that I don't sit in the front seat all by myself. And I don't prefer to wear this hat, too.
Take care, Pepino.
I am a Garcia, same as you. And if I have to be a peon before I can be a matador, maybe I don't prefer that also.
Estoy dando la oportunidad más grande de tu vida.
¿Cuál oportunidad?
¡Mal agradecido!
O sea, ¿cómo te has creído? Muy sabroso, ¿verdad? ¡Empolvado!
¡Mal agradecido! ¡Mal agradecido! ¡Mal agradecido!
Y está suave que no me quiere en la casa, pero no le voy a pedir perdón.
No, apologizing, eh?
I don't apologize. I might not be enough of a Garcia to be a torero, but I'm still a McCoy. And a McCoy don't apologize, even when they're wrong, right? Well, even if I do love you. I just go back to Mexico City and start all over again.
Yeah, Pepino, there ain't no need for you to go rushing off no place.
Of course not. We want you to stay right here. And Grandpa does, too. Don't you, Grandpa?
Now you hush up, all of you. I'm the head of this family, and I talk for myself. And every one of you McCoys does just what I say, see? Now, Pepina, you take your things, and you get them back in the barn and get to work. Ole?
I kiss your hand.
No.
I'm staying, girl. I'm staying.
He ain't gonna go. He's gonna stay.
starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Here you are.
Oh, thanks, sugar babe.
Oh, Grandpa, would you like another cup of coffee?
No, thanks, Kate. I told George I'd be over to his place at 8:30.
Oh, just a minute. I want you to take this apple pie over to George. He hasn't had a good home-cooked meal since Florrie's been gone. He'll appreciate it.
I know, Kate, but a whole half a pie, wouldn't one piece be enough?
Grandpa, cast your bread upon the waters, and you know what you get back.
From George and Michael? Dirty pie plate, that's what.
Hi, Amos.
Hi, George.
What you got there?
Oh, a piece of home-baked pie, Kate, sent over to you.
Oh, boy. What kind?
I think it's apple. She didn't say. Heat it up in the oven, then. We'll have it with coffee later, huh?
I didn't have a chance to clean up after supper.
Well, who'd you have to supper? The National Guard?
Well, I wasn't expecting no company, Amos.
You weren't expecting the Board of Health neither, was you? Someplace you can put some of this stuff?
No place left. The bathtub's just full.
Hey, look at that. Jelly and peanut butter all over the checky board.
Well, I'd have kept the place cleaner, only I can't stoop too much on account of my sciatica. Anyways, my little sister Flora's coming back in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks? The way this stuff is piling up, they'd be lucky if they find you by morning. What you need, George, is a housekeeper.
A housekeeper?
Yeah, some good, strong female that'd come in here and help you dig out.
A housekeeper, huh? Hey, Amos, maybe you got a pretty good idea there.
And, George, there's a place downtown that can get you just the woman you need to clean up.
Then that's what I'll do. I'll get me a housekeeper. One that can do a little cooking and mending and you know, a little laundry.
Now, wait a minute, George. Let me tell you something. Don't you get a fat one. Because they just eat you out of house and home.
Yeah, I'll get me a real skinny one.
No, now, don't go the other way. Don't get a scrawny one either, because they tire too quick. Get one in the middle, you know. Just a fine figure of a female, you see. A good-looking woman.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Maybe there's one with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Hey, that'd be nice. A blonde. Blue eyes. I'll get right down to the employment place first thing Monday morning.
I'll go along with you.
Yes, gentlemen. I think you'll agree that Miss Trumbull here is exactly the woman you're looking for. And I say she's absolutely perfect for you. Her references are excellent.
I once worked for the congressman.
Isn't that wonderful?
And I'd be there yet if it wasn't for all those stairs. A 3-story house. Oh, too much climbing.
Well, when would you like her to start?
Stairs bother you, do they?
I don't believe I have your address, Mr. McMichael.
You just go out Mountain Road and look for a Hilltop house.
Hilltop house?
Who lives it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Hilltop house.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a real charming place. You go in and you go up 2 flights, you see, to the parlor. Then 2 more flights to the kitchen.
4 flights of stairs?
No, 6.
6?
Bathroom's still another two up. Beautiful view when you're shaving.
I'm afraid that wouldn't do. I'm sorry, but I just couldn't take all those stairs. You understand, Miss Burns?
Of course.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day. Set him up in the other alley.
Frankly, gentlemen, I've run out of names. You've seen 14 women, and none of them seems to please you.
Well, there must be someone else.
Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips, but I don't think so. Excuse me.
That was a close one. You gotta keep on your toes, George.
Hilltop House. Oh, that was a beauty.
Pardon me. Is Miss Burns here? I had an appointment to see her at 11.
Have a seat. Take your pick.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am, but do you do housekeeping work?
Just a little. Actually, my classification, well, I'm more of a personal secretary.
Secretary? Well, that's more along the lines of what you wanted, ain't it, George?
Yeah, sounds just like it.
Although I really don't type too well, and I can't take dictation.
Well, it so happens I ain't got no typewriter.
No, and he ain't no dictator neither.
You see, my last job was with a wealthy widow who traveled a lot. Actually, what I really am is, well, a companion.
Companion? You hear that, George?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
Well, I just don't seem to be able to find it. Oh, yes, what is it, please?
Miss Burns, my name is Webster, Clarissa Webster. I've just sent in my application.
Oh, yes. Well, would you mind waiting just a moment until I'm finished with these gentlemen?
Well, now, wait just a minute. Maybe Miss Webster's just what we want.
Well, I really don't think so. She has a different classification.
Yeah. Yeah, we know.
Well, you don't do any house cleaning, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, house cleaning ain't everything.
No, George, you can always get someone come in and do the house cleaning.
But you don't cook either, do you?
Not very much.
There, you see, that'd make the cleaning easy. There wouldn't be no dishes to do.
What else you do?
I'm good at answering the phone and taking messages.
Now you can get all your telephone messages straight.
It'd be a godsend.
No need to go no further. She's the one. Why didn't you bring her up before? You hiding all the good ones?
Gentlemen, are you sure?
Sure, well, sure. No doubt about it. She's absolutely perfect.
Hassie, little Luke, wash up now. Supper's almost on the table. Grandpa, I don't see why George don't come over here for supper instead of you going over there.
Oh, it just seems easier this way.
What you got on, Grandpa?
Just a little Peppina's violet water.
Well, ain't you kind of gussied up just to have supper with George?
Well, I just happen to be the type that takes a little pride in his personal appearance. See you later.
Have a good time.
I'm going to try.
We'll have a little supper, and then I'll take you home.
Excuse me. Evening, George. Amos.
I didn't expect to see you tonight.
Well, I was just over here in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd drop in. I thought you might be lonely.
Well, I appreciate it, but everything is fine. Good night. What is it, Amos?
Hey, George, I thought maybe we'd have a game or two of checkies.
No checks tonight, Amos. I'm having a bite of supper, and I'm going to call it a day.
Well, there's just one other thing. Kate said she needs a pie plate back.
The pie plate? Well,
yeah, I know right where it's
at.
Miss Webster.
Mr. McCoy.
Well, this is a surprise.
I'll bet.
George, why keep a pretty woman like that in the dark? Just have a little light.
Well, we did make a little progress today.
Well, maybe you did, but it sure wasn't in the kitchen. It was a real nice meal. I enjoyed it.
Oh, Mr. McMichael's a wonderful cook.
Coffee, Clarissa?
No, thank you.
Would you like to play a game of checkies?
Amos, I can't play checkers when I've company.
I ain't asking you, George.
It's getting rather late anyway. I think I'd better run.
You see, my car's right outside.
Mr. McMichael said he'd take me.
Well, maybe I could stop by and see you tomorrow.
I'm afraid I'll be busy here with things for Mr. McMichael.
Well, now, don't tell me your whole weekend's going to be took up by Mr. McMichael.
You can call me George.
It was nice seeing you again, Mr. McCoy.
Same here.
Shall we be going?
Right away. Allow me. Nice try, Amos. But when it comes to women, it's personality and sex appeal over violet water every time.
Any chance you'd be going to George's place today?
No, I ain't going over.
Ah, well, maybe I better. This sprayer doesn't work. I thought we might borrow his.
Well, you can go over if you want it, but if you take my advice, the least you have to do with George McMichael, the better.
Say, what's been wrong between you two this last couple of weeks?
Ain't me, it's him. He got so darned uppity now, he's got hep on the place. Ain't got no time for his old friends. He just wants to sit around and be waited on hand and foot.
I think I will drop over. I always wanted to see what it was like for a fella to be living in the lap of luxury.
Come in.
Well, George.
Stay right where you are. Don't go tracking up my clean floor.
Oh, yeah.
You'll wake up Clarissa.
Clarissa?
That's my housekeeper.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean, wake up?
Well, she likes to take a little nap, after lunch, and it gives me time to tidy up the kitchen.
You tidy up?
Oh, yeah. How'd you like that? Clarissa's chocolate bonbons. I forgot to put them back in the icebox. See, they melt in the heat, and the icebox keeps them fresher tasting.
Yeah, well, it's a little warm in here.
Oh, that's the oven. I got a chocolate cake baking. Well, look, what brought you here?
Oh, well, I was wondering if I could borrow your tree sprayer. But as I was driving up just now, I noticed your trees need a little work, too, so I expect you'll be using it.
No, you can have it. I won't use it today, and tomorrow's Thursday. That's my day at the supermarket.
Well, thanks, George.
Don't mention it, and if you'll excuse me now, I haven't time to gossip. I got to vacuum the living room. Oh, my sciatic.
George, are you sure you ought to be doing all these things?
Well, you see, it's got to be done. You see, Clarissa's having some friends over here this afternoon, and I want the place to look nice for her.
You want it to look nice for her?
Yeah. You see, her friends are giving her a shower.
Well, don't she do nothing for herself?
You don't understand. Clarissa is having an engagement shower.
Oh, engagement. Well, you mean she's getting married?
Yes, sir. Clarissa has done me the great honor of agreeing to become my wife.
His wife? It just don't seem possible.
Well, it does to me. I seen it coming. His own fault. That fool George, he don't know the first thing about handling women.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
What are we going to do about it? We ain't going to do nothing about it. You leave him get married. Serve him right. Running off with the first woman that comes along. After me giving him the best years of my life. Leave him go.
Well, Grandpa, don't you think you ought to at least talk to him?
Now, look, if he's aching for a wedding, It's his funeral. I ain't gonna do nothing about it. I wash my hands of the whole affair. I ain't gonna lift a finger or say a word. And I'm going right over there and tell him. George!
Hi, Amos.
Where are you?
Hanging up the laundry.
Pitiful, just pitiful. I want to have a talk with you.
All right, hurry it up. I'm busy.
I gotta find you first.
What you want?
I just want to remember you just like that.
You over here to talk about my coming marriage?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going through with it. You know, I always had half a mind to get married.
That's just about all it takes, too.
We're getting married next week. And that's that.
Now listen, George. All I'm trying to do is keep you from making a fool of yourself. And I'm telling you straight out, that woman ain't in love with you. All she wants is someone to wait on her hand and foot.
That's not so. She loves me for my own wonderful self.
And I say she's nothing but Minnie the Moocher.
And I say she ain't. And I've had enough of your ravens and ranting. You're just jealous, that's all.
Jealous? Why you not head? I was just trying to look out for that. Sprinkler can. Easy now, George. Easy now. Yeah. You hurt, George?
Oh, my back. Ooh. No, my leg. My leg, Amos.
Yeah, well, it's probably a bad case of housemaid feet. How is he, Doc? Nothing serious, huh?
No, nothing to worry about. His sciatica's acting up. Main thing is he seems to be completely exhausted.
Well, I don't wonder at that.
He needs complete rest for a few days and he'll be good as new.
Just a few days, huh?
I don't want him to do a thing but lie on that bed. Good thing he has a housekeeper.
Poor George. Some hot soup would taste good, wouldn't it?
You'd like some soup? I'll fix some for you.
Just lie still. I'll get the soup for you.
Oh, you're so good to me.
And if you need me for anything, just ring the bell.
You're an angel. That's what you are, a little angel. See, Amos, what did I tell you? She's perfect. Just perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, Amos, what did the doc say?
Oh, he said a few days rest, he'd be as good as new.
I thought so. You can't keep a good man down. Say, Amos, did you notice how worried Clarissa was about me? And how she loves to take care of me and everything? Look, a little bell and everything. Oh, I get a lot to be thankful for. There's only one woman like her in a million.
Well, that's something we all got to be thankful for.
How do you turn the stove on?
I'll show you, sweetheart.
No, I'll show. See, you just take hold of that little knob right there, you just push her in like that, and then she's on there, and she's off there, and that's all there is to it.
Of course. Oh, thank you, Mr. McCoy. Well, now, let's see now. I guess I'd better, open the can of soup before I put it in the pan, right?
Yeah, it's a little easy to eat that way.
Such a shame it had to happen. But I guess he'll be all right in a few days. I don't know what I'd do, this big house to run.
Well, of course, it is quite a chore, but you'll get used to it in time.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
In time? What do you mean?
Oh, well, now, don't worry. What does these doctors know anyways? The important thing is that you'll be together.
How long will George be laid up? A week?
Well, now, to tell you the truth, he didn't say a week.
A month?
Poor George. Right in the prime of life, too. Why does these things always has to happen to the good folks while the bad ones always stays healthy?
he's going to be bedridden for life, isn't he?
Remember, you said it, not me. At least he'll have you by his side to comfort him. In sickness and in health. But I guess we can forget the health part of it. You'll be there to cook and clean and do his laundry.
His laundry?
And his scrubbing and his mending. Morning, noon, and night. You'll never have to leave these four walls.
Never leave.
Till death do your part. He's calling now. I'll go, but I know it'll be you he wants.
Sweetheart, I've been thinking that after we get married... Oh, shoot.
Anything I can get for you, George?
No, there's nothing you can do for me, Amos. My little sweetie can take care of me just fine. Waits on me hand and foot. All I do is ring the little bell.
Well, all I can say is, George, if you wanted to hear you, you gotta get yourself a bigger bell.